All right. We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to ABL Live. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, and I'm glad you are. We got quite a few topics to discuss today. The first one I didn't do a video about yet, but I will pretty soon, and that is about Pinterest allegedly, we gotta say allegedly, being exposed. Now, there was a video up by Project Veritas, and it got deleted by YouTube. They're talking about a third party claimed privacy. Therefore, we got to delete the video. I could tell you what happened. We'll get into that in a minute, or at least my opinion about what happened, why the video was deleted. And also the trans actress versus the Trump supporter in New York City. I've seen all these headlines talking about trans actress attacked by Trump supporter beats up trans actress, all this, that, and the third. Obviously, if you guys saw the video, that's not what happened. She tried to basically strong arm rob him, and he was defending his property and defending himself at the same time. Mayor Pete, allegedly, you know what? The funny thing about the whole Mayor Pete video was that he wasn't even drinking. He put a closed bottle to his lips and pretended to drink, while the other guys really did drink. It was really, really cringe, really weird. And a guy like that can't be the president. He had no chance anyway, but little stunts like this make it even worse. And also, Mike Pence versus the pride flags. Really, it's Trump administration who says you can't be flying no gay flag, any kind of flag on the flagpole of the American flag. People are offended by that, but that is okay. We don't really care about that, but we'll get into all those topics and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining. Most certainly appreciate you. Like I said, from the jump, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me. I'm glad you came through. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hey, I want to show you guys one thing before I get started. Shout out. Hold on. I got to load it up right quick because I don't even want to, let me see. All right. Let's go ahead and, oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to show you this right quick. Tessa Thompson, no, this is an actress that's going to be in the new Men in Black. She says, let's have a more woke name. All right, you ready for it? Let's Humans in Black. So rather than Men in Black, because she's not a man, obviously, you got to have Humans in Black. Too bad that's not going to be the name of the movie, and too bad she played in it, and too bad she got paid. So all this, suggestions of what could and should and this, that, and the third, that's not even really a real deal. But I got to show you guys this awesome thing from my people over at City Swiggers. Now, you guys know I don't drink, but that's really irrelevant to the point because they make this awesome beer with one of my catchphrases. Check it out right there. Now, this right here, I mean, when I saw that, I almost started crying. I almost shed one Indian tear right there. So shout out to the City Swiggers. I believe they're out there in New York. And if you guys want to take a look at this or, just give him a dad or boy, I'll put a link in the box to check them out. And they're going to send me one of those. They're sending me one right now in the mail. So while I don't drink, this would be a definite decorative piece. It'll probably go right behind me on the shelf right here, right next to the Constitution. So the blue thing right there is the Constitution, pocket-sized, and the Second Amendment book, and also my YouTube plaque. So that'll go right there, right on the side. So shout out to City Swiggers for that. I just want to give him a lot of shine because that was really that was really great for me. So that's that. And they're in New York, so that's pretty wild to have people that are conservative out there in New York that want to support you. But I'm gonna go ahead. It says, but I digress. So can you see it? You might be on the phone, but it says, but I digress right there. That's the name of the beer. If you guys can't see it. Alrighty. So shout out to them. And we got a lot on topics. We got a lot of topics for today. A whole lot of stuff going on. Pinterest. What's going on? Now, if you guys don't know about Pinterest, if you've not seen the video yet before it got deleted, Project Veritas, you know what they do. They do the undercover stuff and they expose a lot of people. They expose Planned Parenthood for selling body parts and whatnot. They exposed Van Jones. Remember the whole Nothing Burger? That was them doing the undercover work. Now they have exposed Pinterest for being conservative, anti-pro-life, that sort of thing. They have certain people and certain websites on a blacklist of sorts. And on the blacklist, the little thing they had was originally for pornography. So to filter out any kind of pornography to be on Pinterest, they use that. And when you're on this list, a person can't make a pin. I guess it's a link. They can't do that on Pinterest. It won't go through. So rather than it just being porn sites, which makes sense, it had Zero Hedge on there, which is a conservative, well, kind of like middle of the road news website. And they had Life. Hold on. I'll make sure I get it right. They had Live Action Films. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Live Action. That's the name of the actual group called Live Action. They are a pro-life group. And they were in this particular thing. So if you were to try to post a link to Live Action, they wouldn't go through. And Live Action has a really big reach. I think they got like 4 million total followers on social media, if I'm not mistaken, probably more than that. And it looks like Pence was just trying to quiet their voice, talking about they're pushing conspiracy theories, but nothing that they were talking about is a conspiracy theory. It's actual fact. It's funny how the left get into all this stuff about so-called conspiracy theories as it relates to actual fact, and science. But at the same time, they say that those of us on the right are anti-science when we question climate change. It's like, okay, so do you believe in science or not? And the fact that a baby is a human being is much more solid and irrefutable than, cars and cows farting causes the Earth's climate to change dramatically over the course of like 10 years. But that's a different story. So they got put on the blacklist. And not only was it this particular group, Live Action, it was also things relating to Bible quotes. The term Bible quote was not in the autocomplete. It was hidden from the autocomplete. So like if you type in my name, you'll see certain things come up. But when you type in Bible quote, they had it like not be a separate word. It was kind of weird. It was very hard to explain just from remembering it. But that's pretty much what it was. So not only are they anti-pro-life, they're also anti-Christian. Not anti-Muslim, not anti-Judaism, not anti-Buddhism, not anti-Taoism, not anti-anything else, just anti-Christian. It seems to be kind of a recurring theme in Silicon Valley or in these big-time tech firms where they want to censor you. If you are a conservative and if you are a Christian, they don't like you. And also, they were labeling Ben Shapiro as a white supremacist. Okay, so a guy that wears a yarmulke, observes the Sabbath, was a virgin until he got married at like 25 years old. You call that guy a white supremacist? They also were talking about Stefan Molyneux possibly being in that particular category. And they were talking about looking at Candace Owens as like, I don't know, somebody that you got to keep an eye on and look out for, make sure they're not doing anything dangerous. Okay, so that's what that is. That's the first thing. And what else we got? Give me 1 second here. We got, the trans actress versus the Trump supporter. Now, she's out there, whoever Zier, Zim, Zer, whatever their pronouns are, they were out there in New York City for some reason. I don't know if they were just got done filming or what, but the guy was out there with his Trump 2020 signs, just minding his own business. And when you see the video, it cuts into her stomping on the signs. It's like, it's kind of hard to explain. I have something like this right here, but I don't want to just bring it in the frame. It's kind of a little much, but I have collapsible backdrops that will fold into like a circle. He had something that looked like that because you could see the way she had it. It was folded up almost in a circle and she was stomping on it. And as the guy is coming to try to retrieve it, they extend it all the way so you can see the full sign and she's trying to walk off with it. And then he's like, hey, don't take my, expletive word for stuff. So as they're trying to take this man's stuff, he's trying to take it back and he's pushing them off. Okay. Now, obviously the police are on his side. The police come in, he's taking his stuff and then they're over there talking to her, right? People are saying that he attacked her and he shouldn't have done it. And the craziest, most fence riding take on it is that they're both wrong. How are they both wrong? So look, if I'm walking down the street minding my business, somebody reaches into my pocket and takes my wallet and they run away or they try to run away, and then I chase after them and I, push them and take my wallet back. Am I wrong for pushing them and get my wallet back? No, that's my property. I gave you no permission to take my property. It belongs to me. You can't have it. So whatever I do to get it back is fine. Okay. He didn't beat her down or hit her with a stick or shoot her, but if the person came to your house and does that, now you're in a whole different ball of wax. You got cancel doctrine. That's a different story though. In this case, he exerted the least amount of effort. If he would have punched her in the face, knocked her out, he still would have been okay, because you can't take somebody's stuff. After the first let go of my stuff, that should have been enough warning. Okay, maybe she just didn't know what was going on, was a little confused. I don't know. After the first let go of my stuff, you got to just be like, okay, my bad. If you don't, now you might get a 2-piece, a biscuit with no drink. You understand what I'm saying? So that's that. Now, did you guys see Mayor Pete? You just see the video I did about Mayor Pete drinking in New York City? He wasn't even drinking though. Shout out to one of you guys that commented on the video. He had the cap on whatever bottle of liquor that was. They're outside of this, I don't know if it was a project building or something in New York City. It might have been a regular apartment building, but right in front of the apartment building, you had a playground where kids were playing, and they're up kind of elevated above that on some kind of walkway or something, maybe a hill, and it's like some brick behind them. They can lean up against it, and they have liquor and brown bags. Now, that's some crackhead stuff right there. If you still in 2019 drinking outside in the daytime with a brown bag, I mean, when I go downtown Chattanooga, I see the homeless people out there. I see the bums out there with the brown bag. Okay, you're not going to see a regular Joe just outside drinking a 40 ounce in the brown bag. That's some hood, crackhead type stuff. But he had the cap on the bottle. So when he went to drink it, Mayor Pete that is, he was just like simulating the drink. So that was really weird. It's just super, super cringe. And I guess that's the way you're going to get the black vote, by going outside and pretending to drink some liquor out of a brown bag. But I'll move on from that. Now, Mike Pence versus the pride flags. There was some requests from U.S. embassies around the world to have the gay pride flag be flown with the American flag on the American flagpole. Those requests were denied by the Trump administration. And the reasoning for that is there's only one flag to fly on the American flagpole, and that's the American flag. People are getting offended, talking about, how could you do this? You hate gay people. You can't allow any little special interest group or any other flag to be on that flagpole. If you allow the pride flag to be on the American flagpole, you got to allow every flag to be on the flagpole. And at that point, what's the point in having the American flagpole? If you want to paint a gay mural in the embassy, whatever you want to do, have some kids paintings or something, that's your business. But the American flagpole is to show where you at. So no matter where you are in the world, if there's a U.S. embassy, you're at home and you see that American flag. Okay, I don't need to see all kind of other flags to confuse me about what's happening. Just fly the American flag and that's it. It's really simple. Crackheads votes matter. That's right. Exactly. But the crazy part is that they think that that's pretty much, that's what we do. The crackhead kind of behavior. That's what we do. And it was even crazier. The guys that were on the show, it was 2 black guys. So it was like, all right, y'all don't know. We don't do that anymore. And then I was reading an article talking about Mayor Pete got his black card. It was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, he got his uptown stripes or some stupid stuff. It's like, who's writing these articles, man? That's not a common thing to do unless you are A, a crackhead, B, a loser, or C, like mentally disabled. Who goes outside in the middle of the day with a brown bottle, a brown bag and drinking? Or number 4, you could be an alcoholic. Okay. You could just be a plain old alcoholic, just getting drunk because it's what you do all day, every day anyway. You get drunk and sit outside in front of a store and just look at girls walking past all day. That's your life. That's not something that a person trying to become the president would do or even entertain at all. But it is what it is. But thank you to everybody that's here. If you're just now coming into the stream, please give the video a thumbs up. That'll do me wonders. I really, really appreciate y'all. Now, are you guys going to, how you feel about the straight pride event? People are saying that's somehow wrong. But why is it wrong? If you can have a gay pride event, why not have a straight pride event? What's the real problem? You should be able to do that if you want to. Okay? If you wouldn't have a gay pride event, I'm cool with that. The only way I'm not cool with a gay pride event is when they have children involved and you seeing really lewd stuff. Well, okay, let's back up a little bit. Have a gay pride event, but spare me the male nudity. Spare me any nudity. I ain't trying to see no genitalia out in public. All right? It's as simple as that. You can have your shirt off or whatever, but I ain't trying to see you twigging berries. I'm not trying to see your hind parts totally exposed. I'm just not trying to see it. So let's just tighten that up a little bit, give some of the nudity, cover it up. Let's not have every little body part be exposed, and then we're good money. If you want to do that, that's your business. Go ahead and do it. But what you should not do is involve small children, especially when you got full nudity going on. That's just not a thing that should be happening. And you shouldn't be involving children with the festivities. You know, I'm seeing stuff on Twitter that shouldn't be on Twitter. You understand what I'm saying? And I'll leave it right there. I don't even want to get too much into it. But I'm seeing things on Twitter. I'm seeing things online that should not be online, that should be reported for, you know, I'm saying call CPS. Some of these kids being involved with these activities should not be involved. Exactly, Young PZ. Brown bag is a junkie, 1,000%. CJ asked me, how do I debate someone on socialism? Well, I don't really know. It all depends on who you're talking to and what the context of the situation is. It really just depends. Some people are going to respond differently to different things. One thing that I know, if you talking to a person that's not really a debater, they're not really a political person, they probably won't engage if they're not trying to hear what you got to say. You know, so if that's the case, I would just kind of passively say things and let them marinate on it. But if you want to debate them, it might wind up being an argument, and you might not really want that, unless they are wanting to debate in a civilized way. Then at that point, just, you know, you can just have everything be about facts and that's it. But if they're not really trying to hear you, just put out little things and don't actually engage in the conversation. Just put things out there like a seed and just let it grow from there and see what happens. But trying to engage them, it might not really work. So that's just what that is. And thank you to everybody that's here. We got a nice little crowd. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. That'll do me wonders. And I got a super chat in here too. Hold on 1 second. Let me check that out. All right. Thank you to, who do we have? Load it up. Thank you to NF Givens, who says, what's up with that vid of Ashley St. Clair? I don't know who that is. What's going on with Ashley St. Clair? You gotta break that down for me. I've not heard about that at all. I mean, the name does sound kind of familiar, but I don't know what's going on with it. Okay. Somebody asked me about Halsey in London who wore a shirt cussing out the straight pride event. I've not seen that. I'm familiar with that person a little bit, Halsey, but I don't know about the shirt and all that good stuff. So I have no idea. All right. But, one more thing I got to say. A lot of Democrats were upset because Joe Biden did not go to this event. I don't know what the event was. I think it was one of these Iowa events, trying to get the name out there and become more well-known and more seen to up their standings in the polls. But why would Joe Biden go to that event? Really, that event is for those who want to finish in second place. It's just for the runner-up. Who's going to be the second place? Who's going to be the highest as far as a loser is concerned? Who's going to rank highest as number 2? It ain't going to be anybody but Joe Biden to get a nomination. The money's already there lined up. He already has name recognition. He's already in the White House twice with Barack Obama. A lot of folks want Barack Obama back. Joe Biden, closest you're going to get. Okay, you're not going to get too much closer than Joe Biden. And the media is going into overtime trying to defend him. They're trying to defend the crime bill, talking about, oh, it didn't raise the incarceration rate. Well, you can see a definite spike, a decrease in the crime from 94 on, and a spike in the black male incarceration. They want to play games talking about the incarceration overall, but they're not looking at the specific group of people that were targeted by the 1994 crime bill. They're looking at overall incarceration. If you look at overall incarceration, it probably was not that much of a difference because it was not targeted to the entire population by the way the law was. Okay. But after the crime bill, it spiked in one area, in one community, among black males. But the media is trying to gloss over that, talking about, oh, it wasn't really a big deal. The crime bill wasn't that bad. Well, if the crime bill wasn't that bad, then why did Slick Willie apologize for it on TV? Why are people heckling him about the crime bill if it wasn't that bad? They're playing games. And also, they're trying to excuse away his creepiness, talking about, oh, he's just a loving man and he just loves people. No. After he said that he would not get into women's spaces anymore and he will respect women's spaces, he then again went and touched some more people inappropriately, some more children inappropriately. All right. Now, I'm not trying to say it was call the police, but still he's in little girl spaces, not giving them room to breathe. After he said he would not do that anymore. So if you're doing that, that lets me know you have a problem. You can't control yourself, because if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm not, then I'm not. If I say I'm not and I do it anyway, I got a problem. If I say, you know what, I'm not going to smoke crack anymore, but you see me the next day getting geeked up, then that means that I got a problem. I can't stop myself. So the media is trying to excuse away his issues with indecency towards people, and also the 1994 crime bill that he wrote, co-sponsored, and did not apologize for, because man, Slick really did. Okay, so they're going into overtime to try and do all that. That lets me know that they pretty much have him in the bag to become the president. Who could it possibly be outside of him? He's getting the most attention in the media. He's getting the most press. He's getting everything that the next president would get. There's no other person that could really come in and take his place. They're trying to get people I don't even know, Eric Swalwell. A guy like that has no chance. I think there's 8 people running that or polling that 0%. Kamala Harris and Cory Booker are not getting enough traction, although the media tried. I mean, they put them out in front of the cameras in the congressional hearings to speak and get their voices and names out there, but it's not really enough. You're going to find some weird things about Kamala Harris, and that's not really being defended by the mainstream media. The whole Willie Brown kerfuffle, that's not really being defended by the mainstream media. They ain't talking about that too much. Same thing with Cory Booker and his lifestyle. It might be kind of alternative. They're not trying to come to his defense on that. But Joe Biden, they're coming to his defense on the whole situation with the 1994 crime bill and the creepiness factor. So you know who they have in the bag. You know where the money is at. The checks have already been written, so you know where it's going to go. But that's just what that is. Hey, if Biden does not have to apologize, then tell those people that wanted Slick Willie to apologize. A lot of people want him to apologize. And since he's not going to do it, then how is that really going to work out? But again, the media, they're behind him regardless, so it don't even really matter. As long as the media is behind you, then you get money. SOBC asked me about what are my thoughts on Central Park 5. Well, I'm going to tell you honestly, I've been researching that a lot, looking into it, and I cannot give a definitive statement about it right now. But what I can say from what I've seen so far is that these guys are not totally innocent. One article I read, which I got to confirm still, like I said, I've not done all my research, but one article I read, I think it was from the prosecutor. Fairstein, I think her name is. She was saying that the boys were never actually brought up on charges for the rape. It was because they were there. They may have been charged for the rape, but they weren't charged as the actual main aggressor in it, if that makes any sense. Because the person that committed the rape, that was actually the one that was doing it, he got caught on the DNA and confession. But the boys were there, and they did a bunch of other crimes because it was a riot. So imagine you got a bunch of people just running around, beating people up, all kind of stuff. It's a melee happening. And then they beat somebody half to death. They do a lot of crime, and they're right there when the sexual assault is happening. Now, this is what I've been reading. So like I said, I got to confirm it. So the boys were not totally innocent. Just because they were exonerated does not mean that the case against them was not solid. That's what I've read so far. And that's pretty much what it is. Now, Trump asking for the death penalty, it wasn't necessarily directed just towards them, from what I know, from what I've read. But, it's easy to paint a narrative about, Trump hates black people. He wants to kill everybody. And, the prosecutor just hated black men and she wanted to see him go to jail and all this and that and the third, where it is probably more complicated than that. And people are just reacting on emotion. One thing I will say about the documentary is that it's really peculiar timing, because you got elections coming up. I mean, we're in 2019. The elections, this time next year, we're going to be full into the process. We're going to be by this time next year, you'll know who the candidates are going to be. So the timing is really peculiar. You're trying to get the president reelected, and he's implicated as far as the full page ad or whatever from New York Times, or whatever newspaper that was. So a lot of it is just trying to push propaganda out there. And one thing about Ava DuVernay, I've seen her work before. I saw some of the 13th documentary, and the part that I saw, I could tell that it was some misinformation. There was some truth in it, but there was also some pure lies. So I think that's pretty much what it's going to be. All right, you call in. Now, who am I going to vote for in the primaries? Well, anybody else to vote for? What you mean, for the president? It's going to be it's going to be Trump. Trump and Pence. Who else is there to vote for? There's ain't nobody primarying Trump, is it? You got Bill Weld. Bill Weld is a funny guy. He ran as a libertarian last time with Gary, but as Aleppo, and he was a vice president there. So now he thinks he can just come in and run as a president. Maybe he thought that Scary Gary was too weak and too weird and not willing to go to the right and do that. So he figured he'd come over to the right and try to be a spoiler in the Trump camp. He would have a better chance of being a spoiler as an independent playing Ross Perot, but nobody has enough juice to be able to do that nowadays, in my opinion. Okay, somebody said, Halsey said she had a shirt on that said "F your straight pride event." Well, that's very nice and tolerant of her, ain't that? Joe Biden's going to cure cancer. I saw that. That was hilarious. Joe Biden is a character. My thing is, how are you going to do that? And how are you going to do that now at age 77 or 76, going on 77? You've been alive all this time. You've been alive 3/4 of a century, and you've not been able to do anything of significance. You've not been able to do anything of significance at all. I'm talking about a major infrastructure in the city, nothing. So what makes you think you're going to be able to cure cancer and all forms of cancer? It's just a grandiose, hopeful statement that he's just talking about, saying that he's going to put a lot of effort behind it, but he won't actually be able to get anywhere near it, because all he can do is just allocate resources and money. He's not going to be in a lab coming up with cures and researching. So it's just a bunch of talk. And what else we got? Hold on. There's one more thing I wanted to say. That's pretty much it for now. There's a lot more I know you guys want to talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and fire up the lines here in a moment. Yeah, it's the same thing here, Briefcase Blues. In Tennessee, we don't register as anything. We can just vote. You don't have to be Democrat, Republican. You can just vote. But in some states, I think New York, you got to register as Democrat or Republican. One thing I don't like is that you got to get a ballot with, like, when you go to vote, you got to get a ballot either Democrat or Republican. So it's kind of weird. You should be able to have a vote that has everybody on it. I mean, a ballot that has everybody on it. You can vote for who you want. But it doesn't really matter. I'm going to vote straight ticket anyway. But I'm just saying you should be able to have more options. Dan Calor 420 asked me, what's my opinion on schools pushing LGBTQ clubs and having younger kids talking about switching their sex? it's indoctrination, 1,000%, and it shouldn't be legal because you're talking about child abuse. Children aren't equipped mentally to understand what's going on with that. You should allow them to be kids. You shouldn't be pushing any kind of sexuality on them at all, especially not the LGBT stuff, because that's just confusing. A lot of these kids are going to be doing stuff like that just for attention, just to get some notoriety from adults, which is a very dangerous thing. That's how pedophiles operate. So that type of thing should not be happening at all. Stick to the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Don't be getting into the sexuality and all the other stuff that is way too advanced for a child to even understand. That shouldn't be in school, period, at all. Let the parents handle that, okay? Don't teach sexuality in school. Now, once you get to be an adult, if you want to take a class in underwater lesbian pottery, then go for it. But as a child, no, absolutely not. And definitely not in public school, because you paying for that as a taxpayer. I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to have my taxpayer money go towards kids 5-6 years old learning about homosexuality. There was a little situation in California that made the parents come out for a big time meeting. I think it was a city hall or parent teacher meeting. It was packed to the brim. All moms in there talking about, look, my kid came home crying, talking about, am I going to become a boy or am I going to become a girl? They're not ready for that. You know what I'm saying? When I was 5 years old, I was a Ghostbuster, and I was legit catching ghosts in my mind. So how are you going to introduce to a child that age? And I'm not exaggerating, because the parents that came out for this meeting, the kids were kindergartners, and there was a transgender reveal. One of the classmates, you're talking about 5 and 6 years old, one of the classmates went to the back room and came out as a different gender. Kids came home crying, confused. That shouldn't be going on. The kids can't understand that in their brain. And once you plant a seed like that, it'll stay with them for a long time. It's like when you learn how to speak, learning your first language. It's always easier to learn your first language than your second language, because you have a blank slate. But then once you are, once you learn one way from the beginning, that's pretty much how it's going to be. But I'll move on and get to some calls. Thank y'all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Yeah, I was a Ghostbuster straight up, and I had ghosts. I was catching ghosts outside in the crib. I had one of them little ectoplasmic chambers, and I'm pushing the button. I'm catching ghosts. So imagine a little boy that age, and you're talking about transgenderism. Like your brain can't even really compute that properly. Once you get to be an adult, like I said, you can engage in whatever you want. You could take a course in, I don't know, whatever you want. Like I said, underwater lesbian basket weaving, and you get money. But not as a child. That's just too much. All right, let's go ahead and get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 501, you're online. I'm speaking to
Mr. Logan. This is this is Blake in Arkansas. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
I just got done mowing the yard, having a beer, listening to you, man. I had a quick theory about Joe Biden. I wanted to see what you thought about it. I kind of see that they're going to use him as like a placeholder and a guy to raise funds. I really honestly don't think that he's going to actually pursue the nomination in good faith. He's a big name. He's going to draw money. He's going to, kind of keep the attention. And I think he's going to, like a sacrificial lamb, so to speak. If they think they can win it, I think he's going to bow out of the competition and say, tearful greeting, next generation. And I promote whoever's got the best chance, whether it be Kamala Harris or Pete Buttigieg or whoever. I personally don't think that they have any illusion that he's going to be able to win the presidency based on his age, based on his history, all the things that Biden's kind of negatively known for. I can't admit he's not progressive. He's not going to win anybody over, and he's certainly not going to straddle the line between progressivism and kind of liberal Democrats, so to speak. They're kind of in a tough spot in a number of different ways. But what do you think?
Well, I think that they have no choice but to run Joe Biden because they don't have anybody else. Nobody is really strong. I mean, Pete Buttigieg, he's weak, as we saw of him drinking the liquor or trying to drink, like attempting phantom drinking the liquor outside. That was just a really weak move. And the other people really don't have a lot of name recognition. Your Kamala Harris, your Cory Booker. There's nobody really that has enough of a name than Joe Biden. Like I said before in the previous video, you should run Michelle Obama and Oprah. That'd be your best bet. I mean, you got Oprah. That's a household name. Michelle Obama. A lot of folks still love Barack Obama, and they love his wife too. So that'd be your best bet. And then you got the identity part of it. So people are going to be like, oh, I got to vote for the first black female. There'll be 2 black females in there. That's what we need. They don't have anybody that can really fit that bill. And Joe Biden is the closest you're going to get because he was in the Obama White House for 8 years. So if it's not him, then it doesn't even really matter.
I personally think, I mean, if they think they can win, they're going to put up one of probably 3 candidates. It's either going to be Andrew Yang, Pete Buttigieg, or Harris. And if they're not going to win, then he'll probably ride it out and just lose. I mean, I'm thinking at this, from a Democratic strategist standpoint. I mean, they've got long odds to win the presidency, number one. And number two, even if they thought they could win, they've got to come up with a candidate, like I said, that can straddle the line between just regular liberals or kind of vanilla Democrats and the radical, progressives. They're trying to buy time, and they're trying to have a name, in my opinion, like Biden, a big name that can draw funds and keep, donors interested, keep the lobbyists interested, that kind of thing. I mean, I don't think they'll win, but they're in a tough spot between, strategy and raising and what can you win, what can't, the House, the Senate, all sorts of different places. And I think that, like I said, Biden's just a way to raise funds, buy time, and to get some attention to the race. I mean, they're not going to put up Sanders either.
Because
he's not going to win.
No, that already failed last time because he, in my opinion, was the front runner. But the DNC came along and said, nope, that's not going to work. We're going to put in Hillary Clinton. So if they did that to him in 2016, it'll be the same story in 2020. So that bridge has pretty much been burned, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the other thing that I mean, we're way, way, way out from elections. There's a lot of things that are going to happen, and there's a lot of bombs that are going to drop between now and then. Who knows what Democrats have up their sleeves in the DNC and old Tom Perez over there. But personally, I think there's going to be a whole lot of things happen, and I think they're going to put their money on Andrew Yang.
I mean, that's possible. They could do that.
He's got the personality to kind of straddle the line, and he's vague enough where progressives can buy into him and Democrats can vote for him. Just regular, vanilla Democrats can vote for him. That's who I think is going to come out of it. He was very, very sneaky. I watched him on Rubin. He was very, very sneaky about his language and avoiding things, that are kind of inflammatory subjects. He would just touch on them and not talk about them in depth. And he's coming at things from all sorts of different angles. And I think that's exactly the strategy that the Democrats are going to hit with this. But I mean, I don't see Biden as anything other than just a brand. He's the Democrat brand, and he's the only way they can establish any kind of relevance and donor capacity in the elections and the kind of lag time in between now and November 2020. Jeez, that's a ways away.
It is, but it'll be before you know it, really.
yeah, it goes fast.
That's right.
What do you think is the biggest issue of today? I love talking to you. What's on your mind, freshest and up front?
The main thing is the Project Veritas video that got deleted today about Pinterest. If you don't know what that is, it's like a social media site where you can go in there. It's mostly for women. They use it to post ideas, like kind of like a scrapbook. It's like this wall you can just put pins on. And it's interactive. Mm-hmm. You can post links and whatnot. Now, there was a story about that. It was an expose. It was a whistleblower that came out and spoke about Pinterest, what they were doing. Pinterest was blacklisting certain websites because of the content. Some of it made sense. Like they were blacklisting porn websites, and that made sense. But they also, on that same porn list, they had a pro-life website that was being blacklisted. So you couldn't post any pins that linked to that website at all. It just wouldn't even go through. And also, there were some emails that were revealed, and they were talking about keeping an eye on Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens. They called Ben Shapiro a white supremacist. I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. This guy wears a yarmulke, is obviously Jewish, observes the Sabbath, but he's a white supremacist. Doesn't make any sense. And they also said, look out for Stefan Molyneux, Candace, and some other people. So it's pretty clear that they have an anti-conservative bias. Now, the video got removed from YouTube because of a so-called privacy claim by a third party. That's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. So that's probably the biggest news right now, in my opinion.
What's interesting to me is, I mean, all these things come out, and I mean, we're not really surprised in the sense that we kind of know that these things exist in the background, the bias and the way that these companies operate. But we keep covering them as though we're surprised. You know what I mean? Like, what we know to be reality in the backgrounds of our I guess kind of reality and consciousness about these companies is that obviously they're biased. They're hiding it in the most plausibly deniable way. They make their policies vague. I mean, none of this is surprising really to anybody who's, I guess, woke to the right, so to speak. But what I guess I see as difficult about the situation is people keep acting as though they're surprised, and we keep getting bogged down in the mire and the drama kind of all these circumstances that come up. Like, it's not surprising. Meanwhile, we're concentrating on all this stuff, and nobody is coming up with the policies and laws and ideas of the next generation. Like, to me, I think Trump was just a stopgap in kind of like the liberal and socialist takeover of the country. Like, there's an enormous amount of work to be done still, whether it be his second term, 10 years down the road, it doesn't really matter. Like, everything that we're fighting against keeps coming. You know what I mean?
Right. No doubt. Like, we got to keep on going. We can't just, just lay down and be like, well, we can't do anything. We just got to keep on going, keep on fighting, because Trump is only going to be here for a certain amount of time, and it's got to be the next person, and it's got to be those of us that are here locally. And one thing I know before I get to my next call is that you got a lot of politicians that have been in there for a long time, and they're getting to be up there in age. They're not getting any younger. So it'll be up to us that are out here that are still kind of young compared to them to come into office and, right the ship. It can still be fixed. It's not hopeless yet. So I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
I want to say one thing real quick, and you can roll this over or whatever, but one thing I would like to see Trump do is to run with Rand Paul as his vice president for a second term. I don't know if that's possible, but that would kind of set the stage for Paul to take over after Trump goes out of his second term. I think that would be a great strategic move. But anyways, nice talking to you, sir. Have a good show, and God bless.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Later.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to everybody that's watching. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to my next call here. All right, let's go to 419 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Happy from Ohio.
All righty, what's going on?
Well, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that you've been going on about. One, I love Ghostbusters. I had me one of those backpacks and the little sliding plastic things that came with a little Slimer. That thing was sweet, bro.
Yeah, it was.
Sweet. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about, you were talking about, or somebody was talking about, they would love to see what's her name? The talk show host lady,
Oprah.
Oprah, thank you. Oprah running. I actually think that Oprah would totally win, actually, if she ran, but I don't think that she would win again. I think that it's hopeless. Anybody against Trump is pretty much hopeless at this point. At least that's my opinion. I don't see anybody really touching on, because the thing is he's doing so well in so many different areas that really what are they gonna do? Like, oh, okay, we're gonna run in this, and we're gonna just sacrifice all of the stuff that we've been working for the last 4 years. Like, I don't know. I just don't see that as a realistic, alternative. And if Oprah goes up against Trump, like, it would actually, honestly, I think it would kill her chances for future presidencies. Because I think that she could actually win, but I just don't think that I don't think it's smart for any Democrat to run against Trump at this point.
I mean, it makes sense. I understand for sure. It does make sense. And, they pretty much got to lose. They have to lose right now because nobody can win. But you have an incumbent president who has a big approval rating. I mean, what can you really do with a guy like that? There's not much you can do, but just try to get ready for the next term. Get ready for 2024. They're going to try to put, I think in 2024, they're going to try to put AOC in there in 2024.
Right. Probably. She's got to be 36, doesn't she? 34.
35.
Isn't it? 35. I'm sorry.
She'll be 35 that year, 2024.
Would she really? Oh, I bet she'll probably be the Democrats' front runner.
Yep.
Well, another thing I wanted to touch on was I've been watching. I've seen some things about the straight pride parade that's happening in is it Baltimore?
I think it's Boston.
Maryland, I think. Boston. That's it. Massachusetts. That's it. I've been watching a lot of this stuff, and like the website that I went to, it's like a very it's kind of a silly website that they have going on for the people that are actually making the parade, but they it seems to be very. It's for everybody. I don't see anything that says it's like gays aren't allowed or anything like that. It seems like anybody who would want to come can celebrate straight pride with us. I'm a straight person. I'm not I don't judge. Everybody's got their own thing. But I what I do see is a lot of it seems like the gay community. I don't know the proper word. I'm not very PC, but the proper the gay community they don't seem very happy about it, and I see a lot of bigotry on their side of the story. Coming at straight people.
Caller, you there?
The vaccine for them.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. Your phone kind of cut out, but I can hear you now. But yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to cut out.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. But no, I mean you're right about that. I mean. A lot of people in the LGBT, whatever you want to call it, community, they're upset. They're looking at it like it's some kind of slight against them, but it's not about that. I mean, there are plenty of events that aren't gay-centric, and there are gay-centric. Now, if they want to have a gay-centric event, that's fine. That's on them. There should be room for a straight-centric event as well. But like you said, it's not exclusionary because you may have some straight people at a gay pride event and vice versa. So
right, I went to one of my friends.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I went to support my friends. Yeah.
Right, so it's not even a big deal. But see, you got a lot of people on that particular side of the thing that aren't really tolerant. Although many of them may claim to be tolerant and claim to be loving, that's not really the case. Once you dig down into it, you be able to see their true colors, and it's not always a pretty sight.
And it seems like that's actually a lot of the way with just like Democrats, SJW types. The modern day feminism. It's always like they're pointing at you. And they're actually doing everything that they're telling you that you're doing. It's like, you colluded with Russia, but in actuality, it was, they were just so surprised that they're like, well, we were doing it. Like, I just figured everybody was doing it. It's kind of like how it seems like with me with the Hillary thing, like they just so floored that, he was actually doing the straight and narrow when everybody else was doing the crooked thing.
Right.
Well, that's all I have for you, Brian. You have yourself a wonderful night, man. I love you. Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, my thing is just be tolerant. Be tolerant. Be nice. Be open. And that's just the way it should be. And, it ain't too much else to it. What's going on, Miss Anthropic One? I see you in the chat, boss. And shout out to everybody calling in. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 434-658-1220. Had to make sure I got it right for myself. All right, caller, you on the line, 617. 617.
What's going on? This is Ivan here.
All right, man. What's going on?
Well, the previous caller I guess you were talking about Ben Shapiro, Alex Jones, why these guys are getting so much trouble. Well, we got too many opinion shows, and they're giving their opinion shows instead to bring out the facts. For example, I think it was yesterday or the day before, you were talking about the California law for having illegal immigrants get healthcare, free healthcare, like the expansion of Medicare.
Mm-hmm. Medicaid.
Well, Medicaid, right? The expansion. So you forgot to say that in order to get these benefits, you must be registered and be part of DACA.
Must be what?
So you have to be registered with immigration. You can just cross the border.
Hold on. You say you got to be what now? I can't understand what you're saying.
You have to be registered with immigration. In other words, you have to be part of the DACA program in order to get it.
Okay.
You can you cannot just say, "Hey, I came last week. I crossed the border. I live in California. I'm entitled to Medicaid." No, that's not the way it works.
Okay.
So you say that, but you didn't tell the whole story.
That's nice. So it doesn't even really matter. You still got illegals. You still got 90,000. You still got. Hold on, sir. Wait.
Now you're gonna
hold on. I'll let you talk. Let me just respond.
Okay.
Now you still got almost 100,000 people that are here illegally between the ages of 19 and 25 being able to get Medicaid. So does it really matter?
It does matter because if you are not registered with DACA, then you cannot get it.
Okay, but you're still here illegally.
Nobody's suggesting that it's right or wrong. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you say that a woman could cross the border and have a kid and get health care. It's not true. You have to be registered with DACA. That means that one thing
you don't understand. Now, are you talking about?
I do understand.
Hold on, sir. Wait a minute. Now, you're talking about the expansion. Now, does that include people that are already previously on it that are here illegally?
No, because before you couldn't qualify for Obamacare being illegal. It's not true. You have to be legal and not U.S.
In the video I did, I posted a source, an article, a neutral site. It was not Fox News or nothing like that, so don't even try to say that. It was a source that said that you were already eligible to get free health care if you were a pregnant woman and illegal. It's already there. And I posted in the video the article with it highlighted.
Well,
the question. So wait. So the question I had for you was, you talking about you got to be part of DACA to get the health care. Is that just the expansion, or was that the previous people too?
No. To get part of the health care with the with the California new law, you have to be you have to be registered with DACA. So that means you got to have your fingerprint. You have to come here when like 8 years old. There's a bunch of requirements you got to have before you get that benefit.
Okay, so
and then most of those guys are already paying. They already paying taxes because they're working anyway.
That wasn't the question, sir. My question was, what about those that are the people that were not part of the expansion, the people that were here illegally, pregnant women? Must you be part of DACA to get that, or no?
They are I mean, they pay.
It's yes or no question.
You get it.
It's yes or no question.
You're trying to play those games that Sean Hannity.
No, I mean,
Alex Jones.
listen,
those games.
Sir, listen.
No.
Sir, you're on my show. You're muted. How about that? Now, here's the question. I'm asking you one more time. If you can't answer, I'm gonna move on to something else. The question was, do you have to be part of DACA to be part of the group that was already illegal and already getting free health care, which includes pregnant women? Yes or no question. If you don't know, say you don't know.
Well, no, because we have access for healthcare for everybody.
All right. So you can be here, sir. So you can be here illegally and have access to healthcare without being in DACA, correct?
Even on DACA, yes, because you could go to the
all right. So I'm still right. So
that means it's limited.
That was a nice attempt to try and wreck me, but it didn't work. So let's move on to something else.
Is it true? It is. See, you lying. You see, you can't be making your own stories, bro.
Sir.
Okay, let's move to the next step.
I'll meet you right quick so I get my point out. You just said that you got to be part of DACA to be part of this expansion. Then I said, well, you can already get, health care if you're here illegally as a pregnant woman. And then you said, well, yeah, that's true. So what I said was right, but let's move on.
Ronald Reagan passed a law in 1982 to have access to all hospitals in the United States, to have access for health care regardless of your immigration status, regardless of whatever.
You said what now?
In 1982, Ronald Reagan signed a law. I don't remember the name of the law or the whatever. but to have access to healthcare in the emergency rooms for everybody, regardless of your immigration status.
Okay, that's nice. But obviously, it didn't cover everybody because you had to make a new law in California to cover more people. So obviously, it didn't affect everybody.
No, but it's not the same to having access to emergency room to having access to a doctor. It's not the same. Come on, you know that.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. But it don't even really matter. Like if you can go to the emergency room, then. But anyway, what else you got for me?
Okay, so another area that I think that the reason that I think that you some of you guys should be banned. I mean, everybody's entitled to an opinion. Should be banned completely out of radio show. I mean, your YouTube channel, whatever, because you guys don't tell the truth. Look at what happened when President Trump. I mean, he's another liar. He was talking about the chambers of commerce. That the chambers of commerce is not looking out for the little guys, looking out for big corporations. That's a lie. That's a flat out lie. The chambers of commerce is for about small businesses in the community, because he was angry because the chambers of commerce spoke against him concerning about the tariffs. He say put tariffs, higher tariffs, they're gonna hurt small businesses, and he didn't like the answer. But my point is, like, if for example, there's a true facts and there's a make up story. If people keep listening to the make up story without looking to the facts, that's where he will win. That's how he will win a second term, because nobody looking out to the facts anymore. Facts don't matter anymore. Just make up stories. That's what apparently that's what is the new norm now.
Well, that's your opinion that Trump is
no,
just
that's
lying.
not opinion.
Sir, I'm gonna talk.
Sir,
I'm gonna talk. You're muted. Now, that's your opinion that he's lying and making up stories, but others think differently. Others say that he's not lying. Others say that he's not just making up stuff. So, I mean, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it, and others have their opinion. And then when it comes time you're still muted. And then when it comes time for the polls, you'll see who's going to actually come out on top. It'll be Trump again.
I know he will win. Definitely will win.
He'll win because you don't have anybody to actually go against him.
Like I said, what he accomplished for foreign policy. Tell me one accomplishment that Trump has done.
Oh, we're the whole thing with North Korea. They were shooting off rockets all the time. That stopped. That's going to be an ongoing process, but that stopped. We got good relations with Japan. I'm answering the question. I'm answering the question. If you would just let me talk. Now we're talking to China. We're trying to get that going on. You're still muted. We're talking China. We're still trying to get that going on. We're pulling out of NATO. We're letting them defend themselves. We got less foreign intervention. We still got a few troops overseas, but we're trying to get rid of that. We're not starting any new wars like Hillary Clinton promised to do. So we're doing quite a few things as far as foreign policy in just a short period of time, just 2.5 years.
Okay, so number one, that I'm still muted, or can I talk?
Oh, you can talk. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm in the air now. So you promised me not to mute me for the next 5 minutes.
I can do whatever I want, but go ahead.
Then what is the point for me talking? You're gonna mute me.
I mean, it's your choice. You call the show, so you can hang up or do whatever you want.
It's my choice, but I should have to express.
Look, we don't got all day to be arguing, so either you're gonna talk or not. What's your choice?
First of all, pulling out of NATO is not a great idea. I don't know where you get that from.
You said what?
So that's pulling out of NATO is not a great idea.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
NATO is the U.S.'s strength. So I don't know where you're getting that from. Where you getting your information from? Okay, now the North Korea deal, we haven't signed no deal. We don't have access to North Korea arsenal, nuclear arsenal, because inspector are not be going yet. Inspector they're going to Iran, the deal that Barack Obama signed with the NATO alliance and China and Russia. So he pulled out the NATO, we haven't accomplished anything. It just makes it more difficult to work with our foreign partners. That I'm still in mute or I'm talking?
Are you talking? I've not said anything.
Okay,
go ahead, man.
I just want to make sure.
Look, sir, we don't got all day. Keep talking. We don't got all day.
Okay. Palestinians, he said was going to bring peace for the Palestinians and Israel. No deal. We haven't found a deal. Syria in limbo. Libya in limbo. I'm not blaming him for everything, of course. He's not responsible of everything. I'm not saying that.
A lot of those things. Hold on. A lot of those things are already going on. You know, so like, why would you even bring those up?
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you bring them up though?
That's what I just said. I bring him up because he said he could fix this problem because our leaders were stupid. He knows more than the military, and he knows more than the CIA.
Are we going to give him some more time?
Are
we going to give him some more time to try to get some things done? Or are we just going to say, okay, the first 2.5 years you haven't totally fixed everything, so therefore you're a failure?
But what he has done as foreign policy,
I've already said it, so I don't got to repeat myself. I've already talked about what he's done. So
you say that, well, pulling out the NATO. We have not pulled out the NATO. I don't know where you're getting that from.
Well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, I've already said what I got to say, and actually, we kind of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're just making up stories.
Look, sir. All right, you're muted, and I gotta go to the next call. We're at about 11 minutes. That's a little bit too long, so thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to Ivan for the call. You know, I'm a nice guy. I promise. I'm not hanging up on him because I'm a mean person, but you know, you got to be kind of aggressive sometimes with some people because they don't really understand. But thank you everybody for watching. If you just now joining the show, please give the video a thumbs up. That'll help tremendously. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff for me. And shout out to the super chatters right quick before we get to the next call. Thank you to Liquid Out L4W Gaming who says, love the show, ABL. Well, thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Patricia64 who says, thank you, great channel. Well, thank you, Patricia. Most certainly appreciate you for your donation and your very kind words. And thank you to Jamie Pollard who says, thanks for your views, ABL. Well, thank you for your donation and your very kind words. I most certainly appreciate you. But let me get to my next call here. Mike from Queens, what's happening?
Anthony, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Oh, okay. It's kind of a tough one to follow up there. I don't have much tonight, but I just wanted to comment about Pete Buttigieg or whatever his name is, Pickle Pete, Peter Puffer. I saw that clip of him drinking the 40s with whatever those two guys are, DeSuze and Mero, whatever.
Yeah.
They were in Central Park.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at the clip and I'm scrolling through. It looked like they were in like Central Park. I'm saying to myself, I'm like, come on. They weren't in a housing project. Right. I know what the housing projects look like. I work in them every day.
Right.
I go through them every day.
You know, they kind of wanted to have that New York feel and just, you know, I didn't understand really the point outside of just trying to, you know, reach the so-called urban market, but that might not work for them too much.
Yeah, I mean, come on, they could have used the Queensbridge houses. They could have gotten Nas. They could have contacted Nas to do it because Nas has got a mural over there where he grew up. Yeah,
they could have went down to Brooklyn, could have went to Marcy and hollered at Jay-Z or something, get him in the shot. Yeah,
exactly. Or they could have went to a number of places.
That's right.
Yeah, Queensbridge would have been perfect.
That's the biggest project on earth, ain't it?
Yeah, it's the biggest one in North America.
Okay.
Biggest one in North America. I had one of my friends that I went to junior high school with. His older brother grew up with Nas because Nas is about 45, I think, or 46.
Right around there.
He's a little bit older than me. Yeah, so you know they all grew up together and whatnot. You know, because I'm from not too far from the area over there, but you know, and you just see the stuff with the stuff that was trending on Twitter this morning with Biden 49%, Trump 41%. I don't know. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've been seeing it a lot. You know, people talking about, oh, you know, in a new Quinnipiac poll, Joe Biden is demolishing Donald Trump. It's like, here we go again. The same old thing from 2016 election cycle. You know, you had Huffington Post or BuzzFeed, one of these places, all the same. But anyway, they're talking about Hillary Clinton has a 98% chance of beating Donald Trump in the general election. And I'm like, okay, come on. You guys are just putting out things to discourage Trump voters and to encourage the Democrats. But really, I think what it does, if anything, if it works, it kind of rocks the Democrats to sleep, thinking that they have a wide lead when they really don't.
They're still in the twilight zone. They, like you just said, it's a repeat of 2016. It's like put the crack pipe down already. Quit using the crack. I mean, they haven't learned their lesson. All of the hit pieces from the fake news outlets, it didn't work, and they still don't get it. Listen, Trump. I think if he would have had help from the Congress, would have gotten health care reform passed. But it comes down to the economy. If people are working, if people are making money, if people are able to take care of their families, go on a nice vacation if they have the money, that's what it's about, man.
That's right, absolutely, 100%.
And that's what they're gonna vote on based on that.
I mean, that's how people should vote. It shouldn't really be too much anything else.
Yeah, I mean, the Democrats just look so stupid. I mean, Joe Biden is definitely he's definitely a gaffe master. I mean, he's gonna a cure for cancer, a cure for this.
Yeah, he's a gaffe machine. I mean, the guy just says pretty much anything, and he acts like is not really a big deal. It's like, come on, man, you got to just get yourself together, say things that make sense. Don't just say whatever, because that's going to be used against you. Like the memes are going to be tremendous. The news coverage is going to be tremendous from the opposite side, from the conservative side. He should just talk less and stick to talking points he's given by people that help him with speech writing and whatnot.
And there's already a couple of strikes against him because he's an old white male.
There you go. Because I'm already seeing that on the news. I did a video about how there would be no more white male Democratic presidents, and some people said I got a little bit kickback on that. They were saying, "Oh, we'll still vote for a white male," but I'm seeing on TV they're talking about, "Oh, we don't need any more white males. It's the old white male, and we don't need that." I said it because I'm seeing the direction we're going in as a country, where if you're a white male, you're pretty much just seen as a lower class citizen. It's really a shame, but that's going to be the narrative going forward in this election cycle.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Bernie Sanders is not viable. I mean, you're talking about a 78-year-old communist in a crumpled suit.
Right. Exactly. And he pretty much got out of there. Like, the Democratic Party didn't want him in 2016. They got him out of there because they wanted Hillary Clinton to be the nominee. So I don't see how he would have any faith that they wouldn't do the same thing again this time.
And he's just out there on the campaign trail, just spewing the same old nonsense. He's a racist. He's a homophobe. And he's continuing to demonize rich people. You know what? It's really gotten him so far, and he's not viable. I mean, it's crazy with him.
That's right.
Guy should just retire and up to his log cabin up in Vermont and go hunting. He
should, man. He's got enough money at this point, I would assume. He's almost 80 years old, so I mean, what's the point in continuing to do this? I don't understand. Go be like Barack Obama. Get a Netflix show and be a lobbyist in D.C. or something like that. And no sense trying to become the president anymore. It's not really working out too well for him.
Yeah, it's an oxymoron for you when you hear him talking about, the income inequality. Meanwhile, he's a millionaire.
That's right, exactly.
So, let me get going, Anthony, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care. Good night.
All right, thank you to Mike from Queens for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And, I'm going to show you guys something right quick. Now, people talking about this documentary called When They See Us about Central Park 5. Now, do you guys know who Judge Joe, not Judge Joe, pardon me, not Judge Joe, because Judge Joe would never do this I'm about to show you. Judge Mathis. All right. Now, Judge Mathis, what are you doing, sir? Like, why are you crying here? What's really going on? Like, just finished watching When They See Us, the Netflix true to life miniseries about 5 Black and Latino youth who were wrongfully convicted of raping a white woman after being forced to confess to a crime they did not commit. The innocent teenagers served several years in prison before they were free and exonerated. Don't miss the story of the Central Park 5. Fight the power. Well, sir, you ain't fighting the power with a face full of tears. That ain't really, that's not really an intimidating look, sir. I'm not, come on, man. Like, I understand you emotional, but the crying is not, nah. And then you taking a picture of it, putting it on Facebook. This is really crazy. y'all got to stop. Y'all liberals out there got to stop, man. I'm not trying to see your wet face talking about Central Park 5. Look, man, save all that. Save all the dramatics. I'm just not really trying to hear it too much. But and then you got like water all on your glasses. You know, wash your face, man. Get it together. Anybody trying to see all that. But anyway, thank you for the everybody watching. I really appreciate y'all. But let me get to my next call here. All right, caller, you online 347. All right, Joshua, what's happening?
What's happening to you? Judge Joe Mathis crying?
Yeah, Judge Mathis is a mess, man. Face full of tears. It's like, Doc, you got tears on your glasses and your beard and your mustache. You need to go on the bed, man. Like this is not really strong. This is not masculinity I'm seeing right now.
Right. Because I know Judge Joe Mathis. I know his show, that very Judge show, but damn, what crime because of a propaganda piece? Come on.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
Anyway, I want to talk about the yesterday's John Stewart on 9/11 supporting the firefighters of 9/11 yesterday.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't watch it, but I did hear about it, and it's good that he's supporting the firefighters. Yeah. You know, that's a good thing. You know, because my dad is a firefighter, and during when that event happened, you know, they had some kind of event here when I was in Virginia. He was on the front cover of the paper holding the American flag with his former uniform on. So that's something that I still got to this day. I'm gonna show y'all one day. I think I did show it before in a previous video, but you know, so I have a special place in my heart for firefighters. So that was good that he did that. Yeah. Even, you know, politics aside, that was still good that he did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Congress was not doing anything about on the bill until yesterday. I mean, until today, when they signed the bill.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure of the history behind that, why that wasn't done until just now. I don't really know what's going on with that, but either way it goes, I think it's good that they finally did something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to talk about Justin Amash. Justin, the new John McCain Amash, Rhino Republican named Amash, nerd Justin Amash, the Never Trump Amash, everything in the book. He is a Democrat disguised as a Republican, basically, because he's a Never Trumper.
Yeah, I'm seeing this right now. I put it on the screen. It says, Justin Amash joined Democrats and vote to hold Barr and Ross in contempt. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? I mean, you know, when I was interviewing Dr. Shiva was talking about how up there in this is Michigan. I thought it was in Michigan. I mean, I thought it was in
Massachusetts.
Yeah, I thought it was up there, but it's in Michigan. But either way it goes, you're gonna have some guys like this in the Republican Party. Some guys that just go to the other side and say, "All right, I don't like Trump. I'm another Trumper." Yeah, you got guys like that out there. Now the trick for him is going to be trying to get reelected in Michigan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he's not because he's down the poll by 16%.
Oh, okay, okay. So it must be just him. It must be just him. It must be just him trying to have like this last hurrah. He's going out. He's not going to be reelected as a Republican, at least. So he must go out with a bang, I suppose.
Yeah, basically his ego got into him. Now, guess what? You're probably going to lose in the Republican primary with this rate.
Right.
Like the neocon Never Trump Republicans is basically like the last generation of consoles. It's pretty much dead at this point. There's some still there like Romney, but mostly it's dead now. It's dead. And the new generation of consoles, the Republicans are pro-America.
No doubt.
And one more thing I want to talk about today is the red elephants.
All right, what about them?
Is the new video about Ashley McLean?
Who?
Ashley McLean.
Who was that?
From Turn Point USA.
I don't know who that is. Ashley McLean. Who is that?
Yeah, from Turn Point USA.
But who is she though? Like, what is she? What does she do?
She's never mind with that. But like, she's sound alleging that there's only like 12 illegal immigrants, and they need to focus on that side of violence. And my problem with the white elephants is that it feels like they're going too far with it. Like, I think that Vincent James is further right than that, I think, for me at least.
Well, I don't know too much about what's going on with that, so I can't really comment on it. I'm gonna look into it and see what's happening. But I don't know. Everybody got their opinion. Some people just, it made the opinion that they have maybe a little bit too much for some people's taste, and I understand that. I'm not really mad at that, but that's why we all kind of exist here. So if you don't like what he has to say and his viewpoint, you can look at myself and many others. So that's why that's pretty much all I can say about that, because I don't know who this person Ashley McLean is, and I've not seen the video you're talking about.
Yeah, and the real woman thing actually is the border wall crisis. Is that we getting a bill now by the organization of Rebuild the Wall. Yeah, and to me at least is a damn good thing, because we need to limit immigration, because every illegal immigrant is a Democratic voter. So yeah.
Well, yeah, we gotta get it together, because you got a lot of crime coming across. You got infectious disease, all kind of stuff that should not be coming across.
I heard that the bubonic plague is coming back in Los Angeles.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, you already had you had a confirmed case of it in New Mexico, I think, some years back. So it definitely could come back. You got rats everywhere, all in downtown Los Angeles. You got a lot of people that don't have any kind of immunizations. They're coming from very poor and destitute countries. So I would not be surprised if the plague were to come back. But I'm gonna get to a few more calls here. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate you too.
All right, now take care.
Take care.
All right, thank you to my man Joshua for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Now I'm seeing this. Hold on, I'm seeing this thumbnail. About who is this? Somebody, Ashley McLean. Okay, now this is a video. I'm not going to play it. I'm just reading what it says. Is TPUSA really pro-America first? Here's St. Clair Ashley of TPUSA saying Republicans shouldn't care about immigration if it doesn't affect them personally, and instead focus on something that actually matters. I mean, I don't know who that is. I've never seen her before in my life, so she must not be anybody that's really important. So, they're trying to make it be like, oh, she's a star and a big figure. I've never seen her before in my life. I don't know who that is. And I've seen a lot of people behind the scenes at Turning Point, the major figures. I have no idea who that is, but I'm going to get to a few more calls.
The disgusting history of racism.
Nippin, what's going on?
1 second, let me turn off all the distractions.
All right. All right. So are you good? You straight?
There's one more thing I haven't muted yet, which is the live stream going on in the background. There, all muted.
All right, we good. We're good to go. So what's happening, Nippin?
Oh, not much. Pinterest has been exposed, apparently.
That's right.
I use it a lot.
Yeah. Now, did you see the story that came out about them?
No, I haven't had time to watch any videos lately. And whenever I watch them, I'm either driving or they're on in the background.
All right. Now,
so,
go ahead.
So, yeah, the video I did watch, though. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, carry on about Pinterest.
Okay, now, Pinterest, there was a video that came out from Project Veritas. You familiar with them?
Heard of them.
Okay, now they do the undercover expose. They did the undercover videos about Planned Parenthood, how they were selling baby body parts. They also did the undercover video where they talked to Van Jones, and he said the infamous "Nothing Burger" quote. That was them. Now they came back to do some more undercover work. This time about Pinterest. Now Pinterest got caught. Actually, it was a whistleblower that came out and told on Pinterest with evidence, documents, emails, texts, all that. They were saying how Pinterest was censoring pro-life websites, and they were also looking to censor some pro-conservative voices. Your Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Stefan Molyneux, and others. And what they did...
I'm not really that surprised anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, the internet is being taken over by the Gestapo. There's no other way of putting it.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay, we live on the air, so we don't have that much time. Okay.
Yeah. Told you it would be just 1 minute and not half an hour.
Hey, there we go. That's good. So, but Project Veritas, they also had terms about the Bible and Jesus. Like, really, it was terms about the Bible that were kind of censored as well. If you were to type in a term about Bible quotes, it wouldn't really autocomplete. So it's definitely a big time issue with them.
Yeah. So, and then Mayor Pete. I've never heard of him.
Pete Buttigieg.
Which city or which town is he the mayor of?
South Bend, Indiana. He's trying to become president.
Oh, I think I've heard of him. Yeah, an Indiana Democrat wanting to become president.
Yes. No,
I couldn't think of his name.
The gay guy.
I didn't know he was gay, but
yeah, he was on the cover. He was on
drinking whiskey. I don't know what it was. Out of a bag.
Yeah, a brown bag.
Are you actually dumb?
Apparently he is dumb, because I don't think anybody trying to become the president would do a thing like that.
No, they wouldn't.
But he did do it for sure. Trying to get some of that black vote, trying to get some of that so-called urban vote, but that might not be the way to go about it.
Yeah, no. Please, if you want to have my vote, you have to be yourself.
That's right.
And Boris Johnson has officially thrown his hat in the ring. He's now going to run for the leadership.
Okay, so now, is there anybody that's in there right now? Because Theresa May is officially out, right?
Yep, she's not running.
So who's in there right now? Is there no prime minister?
Yeah, let me just bring up the list of candidates. I think, Boris Johnson is definitely one of them.
But who's in there now though? Because if she's not,
she hasn't resigned yet. The moment the new prime minister visits the Queen, that's when she will resign.
Oh, okay. I thought she was already gone. But
no.
Okay.
In America, you have the thing called the oath of office. But over here, you actually ask the Queen to run the government, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to ask her permission from the Queen. And I'm actually part of the Conservative Party now. I'm actually officially a member.
Oh, congratulations.
I couldn't join the Brexit. I wanted to join the Brexit Party and the UK Independence Party.
So why not the Brexit Party?
Because if I ever want to run for election, I would never be able to win anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
are you going to run? Are you going to do some local stuff, some city stuff? What are you going to do?
Maybe I'll just help out.
Yeah, volunteer, campaign, do all that.
So yeah, the candidates are.
You got Boris Johnson, number one, and then who else?
Yeah, nominated Michael Gove, Matt Hancock, Mark Harper, Jeremy Hunt, current Secretary of State of Foreign Affairs. We call them slightly differently to yours.
Yeah, but it seems kind of similar.
Javed, the Home Secretary, he basically holds the UK equivalent of the Secretary of Homeland Affairs. And then you have Boris Johnson, the former Mayor of London, Andrea Leadsom, Esther McVeigh, Dominic Raab, and Rory Stewart.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm throwing in the hat for Boris Johnson. I mean, if I was with that liberal mindset, I would go for no, Sajid Javid, because he's Asian. No, I want Boris Johnson.
Well, hopefully he wins. I think he has probably the best name recognition, you think?
Yeah. He has the most support as of right now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's becoming more conservative. The UK.
That's definitely a good thing for us because we need to have more of that all across the world, not just in America, but everywhere, all over the world.
You know, a lot of people are made to think that the UK is not that conservative, but obviously they don't want you to know the facts.
Right, of course, they're going to hide that from you. They're going
to hide the true numbers.
That's right.
So, yeah, I'll send you the link of it right now.
All right, but what else we got?
The trans actress. I'm sorry, no, this is doing my head in. Too many trans this, trans that. What next?
Transformer.
You know, I wouldn't mind that, being able to transform into something at will.
Yeah, if I can become a car or a plane and just fly. Matter of fact, I want to identify as a drone and just go wherever I want all throughout the city with no traffic.
You can identify as whatever you like, but your biology will never change.
That's right. Correct.
So now Mike Pence versus pride flags. He's absolutely right. One flag. And that's the flag of the country's embassy.
That's right.
I don't see the Indian embassy having any other flag. I don't see the Pakistani embassy having any other flag. I don't see the British embassy having any other flag.
There you go.
So yeah, he's absolutely right to say no to the gay pride flag.
Exactly. Just one flag. That's it. Because if the gay flag is allowed, then you got to allow every other random group and their flag to be on the flagpole as well.
Yeah, and there's not enough room for that on the flagpole.
It's not enough room. Just have one flag. Make it simple so you can identify where you are and have that be that.
Yeah. So, and then there's, it's not worth virtue signaling. Because you can being gay is legal in the US and across most of the Western world. But where people are actually prosecuted for being gay, the liberals actually don't care about that. And they say, oh, we don't want to offend the Muslims, we don't want to offend the Arabs, the Muslims, the Pakistanis. Yeah. When Islam is the most homophobic religion on the planet.
Right.
Sharia law basically says you should stone and kill gays.
That's what they say.
In fact, I know a lot of Muslims who actually don't follow the Quran. They just don't follow it. As in, like, they're quick to criticize the Quran when it comes to it. They're practicing Muslims, but they criticize what has to be said, if that makes sense.
Right, of course.
Have you ever interviewed the Imam of Peace? He's Australian.
I've not interviewed him, but I have seen him on Twitter doing a bunch of things. But I don't mean to cut you short right here, but I got to get to a few more calls because you've kind of been on for a little while.
Yeah, sorry for taking up too much of your time, ABL.
It's all good, man. I thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
And one more thing before I go. I have launched another Instagram account. It's the Deplorable Brit.
That's a good name. I like that. All right.
So yeah, please follow it when you get time. Share it to your conservative friends.
No doubt.
And soon I'll probably be starting releasing T-shirt merchandise as well, like something on the T-shirt saying "Facts don't care about your feelings" or like Trump 2020.
It sounds good to me. Now, if you're on there, if you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram so I can follow you back, and then I can link it.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
There we go.
So yeah, both my accounts. You can follow both my personal and my merch one.
No doubt, man. But thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
I'll speak to you on Sunday.
Sunday my time. Sunday your time. Saturday my time. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I'll speak to you then.
All right, then. Take care.
Peace.
All right. Thank you, Snippin, for the call. Most certainly appreciate them. But I got to get to a few more calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All right, call you on the line, 269.
Hello, this is Uncle Reggie.
All righty, man. What's going on?
What's going on, ABL?
Everything's good.
Hey, listen. Yeah. I got a little bit of background in production. And I used to be a floor director at a nationally televised, I won't say which one, but it was a talent show.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of artists and a lot of performances and a lot of I was the guy that had to make sure that the lemon water was perfect and everything. Everybody was not nervous and things like that, when they were getting ready to do their production. And the reason I say that is because I'm getting to this Pete Buttigieg thing where he's sitting on that wall and looking over his shoulder, make sure the cops ain't coming and stuff. Yeah. It takes usually about 45 minutes to an hour to set up the cameras and the booms and the microphones and that beer had to be sitting there warm. I don't even think, to be honest with you, I think it was probably iced tea in those bottles. I don't think it was beer.
Now, one thing I noticed after I uploaded the video was that he didn't even drink it. What he did was he had the cap on the bottle. He just put it to his mouth and pretended to swig it, but he didn't because the cap was on it.
I didn't see it that close. I didn't look at it. I'll have to look at it again.
Yeah, somebody in the comments pointed it out to me, and then I looked at it, and it was like, sure enough, he had this big cap on it, and it wasn't off. He was just pretending to drink it, but he didn't.
Yeah. And I noticed I'm thinking there was some down low stuff going on in that on the set before that happened because they look pretty relaxed, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you never know.
I don't know. They look like they needed a cigarette too, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I was just having a little fun with that. Yeah, but I was just gonna say that that was totally, they made it to look like they were kicking it and stuff, but I've kicked it and that wasn't kicking it,
Right.
I've kicked it on the edge of a basketball court, back in the day, and we used to actually do stuff like that, and that's not what it looks like.
Not at all. That's not. It was just a TV show.
Yeah, I mean there was 3 or 4 cameras going. They usually have like 6 cameras going. I usually used about six different cameras, and then you splice it together at the end. They had 3 cameras. All of them were mounted. Obviously, it was a professional production, 1080p and all that stuff, and so I mean, it was what it was. It was set up.
Oh, of course.
It wasn't like some guy was walking by with a camera and just caught him having a conversation about.
No. It was definitely
hip hop.
That's what I was saying. It's like, okay, this is a Showtime show. You have plenty of money. You have a production budget. Just go to a studio and talk there. There's no need to be out here pretending to drink 40 ounces with a brown bag over it.
Out of a brown paper bag. That was one of my CB handles, by the way, was brown paper bag. I used to pretend I was somebody I wasn't. I threw a little accent. I threw one of those AOC Southern drawls in there, and I pretended I was someone I wasn't. But so yeah, I used to do that. I was in a little bit of entertainment. Another thing that the protest, not the protest, but the that Trigglypuff thing with the big hair, and she's trying to take the old man stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they caught hands, man. That guy was fighting back.
See, they didn't expect that. They thought they can just take the stuff, do whatever they want to do. Nah. And the crazy part is that this is a person that was born as a man. The person in the dress, that was a man. So it was like, all right, you can't use this whole I'm a woman, you can't touch me. First of all, you taking my stuff, so I don't care if you're a woman or not. That's irrelevant. I'm going to defend myself and take my stuff back. Number two, since you were born as a man, you still got that male strength a little bit in there. So I'm not trying to hear any kind of excuses as to what happened.
Oh yeah, completely agreed. But that one guy, he tried to step in there and break it up. I don't know which side he was on, if he was even part of either side, but he caught hands too. That the guy walked up behind him. Yeah.
Hey,
hats off.
If you're out there in New York, you probably got to have a few hands if you're going to be wearing a MAGA hat and doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what the Second Amendment is. It's not about guns; it's about defending yourself, being attacked.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's by a person or a tyrannical government or what, or a bear in the woods.
That's right.
So yeah, you have the right to defend yourself, and that's what the guy was exercising his Second Amendment. Did you see this protest going on in Hong Kong?
I've been seeing that. It's about extradition to mainland China.
Yeah, it's like a Julian Assange thing on steroids, man. They're trying to extradite reporters and journalists into mainland China for criticizing the government. And I actually made a comment, underneath. It's like, Americans are all mad about Julian Assange, and China's like, hold my beer.
Yeah. See, the thing about Hong Kong is that a lot of Hong Kongers still see themselves as an independent place or part of the British Empire, but it's not. It's really just China. So that's going to be.
It was a colony.
It's going to be a rude awakening when they understand that China's pretty much in control, and it's not much they can do because Hong Kong, while it's economically powerful, China is just too much.
Right. Hong Kong was a colony of Great Britain until Brexit happened, and then they couldn't afford all this stuff, all the exploits they were doing. They kept the British Virgin Islands and I think the Bahama Islands, but they had to have someplace to go to vacation. But they gave almost everything else up,
Yeah.
So they almost had to financially. It was draining them. It was draining their pocket, but they it was an outpost. It was an outcrop, so they liked it. But they had to give that up because of the immigrants. So now there's this Brexit thing's happening. Maybe they can get some wealth back. Great Britain, God bless them. I think they're all doing the right thing. Shout out to Nip in there. He's got really hard audio, man. I have headphones on. It was like drilling a nail through my head. You might want to get a Captain Jack flag or the British flag there. Put it behind him to absorb some of that sound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, Nip, and how you doing? And I can see he's got great confidence behind the camera now, and he's evolved a little bit over. He's a natural.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah. What else do you have on there? What's going on with Pinterest?
Oh well, Pinterest. There was a video out today from Project Veritas. Are you familiar with them?
Yes, I am.
Okay, they did a video exposing Pinterest. Now it has since been deleted because there was a third-party privacy complaint. I guess since in the video there was some emails put out and some names put out, behind the scenes. I guess that was enough to get it taken down. But anyway, the point of the video was to show how Pinterest is pro-life. There's a group called Live Action, and they do a lot of pro-life stuff. They got a lot of followers. It's like 4 million followers almost, I think, on the internet in general from all the social media. They were banned from Pinterest by using this method. They have this list of porn sites on Pinterest that can't post pins. So rather than just telling Live Action, okay, you're going to be banned for whatever reason. I got some background noise, boss. Okay.
That was me.
So what they did was they put Live Action, the pro-life website, into the porn list to ban them. So you couldn't post any pins from them. And you also couldn't post anything about Bible quotes. You couldn't search for Bible quotes. And if you did, it would not autocomplete properly. They're basically just saying, without saying, that they're anti-pro-life and they're anti-Christianity. So that was revealed.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, it's the swamp. Yeah, the swamp's being drained. It's going to expose the monsters. That's what happens. The thing, hey, guess what? I when I was a kid, I had some. I grew up in a neighborhood was predominantly white, but we had some black neighbors move in, and we all made friends with them. They were pretty cool people, and I learned the recipe for Kool-Aid. You know about the black people Kool-Aid, right?
Yeah. You want a little bit of water with your sugar?
Yeah. Well, you get 1 packet of Kool-Aid, and you use extra 1/4 cup of sugar, and about 8 ounces less of water, and you got a perfect batch right there.
There you go. It's almost like Jell-O.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, that's about all I got for tonight. Love your show. Everybody check on those likes. Oh, and I'm still banned.
You still
I had
banned?
to go to Uncle Reggie too. Somebody got me.
Hold on, you banned where on my channel?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you gotta do? What you gotta do is send me an email with your channel link, and I can unban you from there. But I can't do it any other way.
Yeah, I was wondering because I actually don't make it a good practice to block people, especially I gave up Facebook 2 weeks ago, Saturday. It'll be 2 weeks, and I've never felt better in my life.
I feel you, man.
Yeah, so there's that. But I don't know how to unblock people. Once I block people, I don't know how to unblock them. So
right.
All right, I'll send you the link to my channel.
Okay.
Oh, did you catch that meme I sent you in Skype?
What was that?
It's in. I think I got it under Uncle Reggie now. I took Mantiva down. I think it's Uncle Reggie in Skype.
Yeah, I gotta go check. But go ahead.
It was a straight pride. It was a straight pride meme I made.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
It looks like a flag.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
It's the new straight pride flag. Yeah, check it out.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, much so. You know I get number love for you. Everybody out there in the chat room, keep it clean. The moderators will get you.
No doubt.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. All right. Shout out to my man, Uncle Reggie, a.k.a. Kerplunk, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to everybody out here in the chat. If you are just now coming in or you've been here for a little while and you've not clicked the like button, please do so. The likes are free. It's no cost to you. It just helps me out tremendously. All righty. And shout out to everybody that put a pinch of water into their sugar in a Kool-Aid pack and called it Kool-Aid, but we'll keep moving. All right, caller, who do we have on the line?
Oh, you already know who it is. It's Stephen A. You thought you were going to get away again after you bullied my friends Jake and Anna and Sean King and Brian Stelter. I can't believe ABL. You should be ashamed of yourself putting on this spectacle of race traitory while the NHL Finals is going on ESPN.
NHL Finals?
Oh, wait, sorry. I think it's on NBC. Never mind. Anyway, what is wrong with you every day coming out here and mixing politics with entertainment?
Isn't that kind of what happens over at ESPN, mixing sports and entertainment? What's the difference?
Well, what do you think? You play by the same rules as all of us? It's the YouTuber, very special over there. You know how to get my friend Jamel Hill to come over there and bust you upside your head about all your politics and believing in making America great again and build the wall and whatever. Why don't you build a TV remote control and turn on some ESPN and go back to thinking like a normal human being with critical thinking and ideas?
I think I'm good doing what I'm doing. I'm pretty good, and I think Jamel Hill is also comfy where she's at. She got fired by ESPN for being too political, so I'm gonna be over here doing what I do. Hopefully, you guys over there are able to save that sinking ship known as ESPN. You know, Stephen A. I gotta say one thing. You're a great talent, and you're the only talent at this point that ESPN has. How does it feel to get up every day knowing you got to carry an entire company on your back with no help? How does that feel?
Look, Anthony, the flattery is not going to work because, look, there's a real problem with my company, and it has nothing to do with me doing great and trying to stay awake and remembering the members of the LA Chargers and remembering that they moved and all that. The fact is that this network can't stay off the weed. And I'm trying to get them clean. I'm trying to get them to do detox, and all of them want to book, they want to book tickets to the Rocky games in Denver, even though none of them play baseball. So, I'm dealing with a real situation here, and you're doing all these videos about pride flags, and you ain't got no pride, and doing videos about activists getting attacked, and you ain't doing nothing about, that fat guy who just won the heavyweight boxing title. What's his name? Ruiz. So, why don't you focus on the important things and take a little bit of the workload off of me?
Hey, look, I'm doing my thing. I can't be checking your workload for you. You got to get some people over there at ESPN. You got to hire some new talent, and you would have been okay if you didn't run some of the talent off. I mean, you got Skip Bayless over there on Fox News living his best life with Shannon Sharp having a great show, the best sports show in that particular time frame, maybe even the best sports show out today as far as any kind of talk show on TV is concerned. You had the talent and ran it off. I mean, that's your fault over there. You got to fix your structure in the company. You can't be the only player. It's like having LeBron James on your team with nobody else at all. You got to fix that.
Don't tell me about innovative programming or whatever. You didn't even mention the greatest sports spectacle of the year, the Women's World Cup. I mean, look at my screen. Can you see my screen now? Look at this. Look at this action right here. Look at this.
Is that the World Cup?
Prime athletes. 13 goals, man.
I see two cats in a little playpen.
Yeah. What do you think? You saying this isn't the same event?
No, it's not. It's not.
I think somebody hijacked my VCR. Anyway, Kirsten Gillibrand said that 13 goals is a World Cup record. Not even a men's team ever scored that much. That's why we got to give women equal pay.
I mean, I didn't know Thailand was a powerhouse in women's soccer, but that's okay. I think that the women's team would not be able to do that against the men's team at all. It would be the other way around. You're talking about 13-0 within the first period.
You trying to say that men and women ain't the same thing, Anthony?
Yes, I am saying that.
I'm gonna cut this conversation short before I get banned from ESPN.
All right, now have a nice night.
All right, good night, Anthony.
All right, so shout out to Stephen A. Smith. Every now and again I get a celebrity callers that call in. I guess he's over there frustrated about ESPN not doing very well. Man, it's got to be frustrating. You over there as the only talent. There's nobody else. You got Max Kellerman. What is he talking about? You got Jalen Rose, who gets his facts wrong half the time. You got Molly, who is the worst moderator in the history of the world. I mean, who do you have? What you got? What's our man's name? The guy that gets all the scoops. Wojciechowski. He's okay, I suppose. But that's about it. All the good talent is over at Fox Sports 1. You got Jason Whitlock, and I met him, by the way. Shout out to Jason Whitlock. I saw him in D.C. He gave a speech. Asked him a question about ESPN, actually. Never recorded it on my channel. But he's good with his show with Marcellus Wiley and Katino Mobley and Rick Bucher. And then you have Shannon Sharp, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless on Undisputed. Then you have Colin Cowherd with Joy Taylor on their show. They got the whole thing. And then you got the morning show with Chris Carter, and it's great. So shout out to them. All right. Let me go ahead and get to my next call here. 205, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, my brother. It's been a long time since I called your show to talk with you, man, but just know a lot of issues been going on, man, and this whole thing with this Gay Pride Month, gay flag at the embassies, and the question with the census and the whole border thing, man. It's just the liberals, the left, I think they really lost it, man. It's crazy going on in America right now, man.
And they're getting crazier and crazier by the day, and you would think they would go in the other direction because of all the backlash they're getting, but they keep doubling down and getting worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's just It's like when you look at everything that they have, it's nothing about policy. The Democrats have been in control of Congress since January. Not one policy initiative has come across. I mean, everything is about Trump. Trump. Nothing in regards to the public safety, in regards to strengthening the border, in regards to bringing jobs, creating an environment for jobs. This has got to be the worst Congress I have ever seen. Ever. I mean, nothing has happened since the Republicans had to relinquish control of Congress, and this is maddening. And when you look at the issues that every one of the Democratic candidates have that's trying to run for president, it's all emotional issues, not one issue in regards to what we're going to do to actually make somebody's life better. And this is sad. Christine Gillibrand, I think that's the one from New York, she's a gay rights, which I don't have no problem with them, but she's at a gay rights thing. She's making speeches, and then I think you may have seen the little 5-second snippet where she just says something. And it's just like, what about the issues? What about issues of strengthening the military, strengthening the border, creating an environment for jobs? What about those issues?
Right. I mean, those issues should be focused on rather than just all the other stuff. I think people are less concerned about actually pushing forward policy that will help people and more worried about trying to get elected. If they're worried about trying to do policy and all the other kind of stuff when they get in there, they're not even really worried about making promises, because it's all about just trying to beat Trump, trying to be part of the resistance. That seems to be more the popular thing nowadays, and it's really crazy. But that's where we are nowadays, and it's really a shame. I think some people are going to recognize that and vote another way because they realize that there's no policy there. And why would you vote for a person that has no policy?
And that's so true. And when you look at a lot of the stuff that's going on, like even with the Justice Smollett case, and there was another situation, I think, down in Florida where it was and you may have seen it, there was a news reporter. She was pulled over, and she just was very arrogant to the police officer. And she got off. And if you really looked at, I mean, there's two justice systems. One for those people. I think she was, from what I'm hearing, she was a lesbian, and she was, like I said, I have nothing against them, but she was a lesbian, and the station manager was with her, was her girlfriend. There's two different justice systems in this country. They can do what they want to do and get away with it. Say, hey, I'm gay. You got to let me go, and that's what happens. But if that was me, or you, or any average guy, average person, you know what would happen.
100%, ain't no question.
And the issue with the last issue, because I know you got other things to do, but the question on the census, to me, that is one of the most important things right now. And I'm hoping that the Supreme Court rules in Trump's favor, because if they rule in the favor of the liberals, that's going to be so much congressional representation possibly going to California, along with the allocation of tax dollars for education, roads, things like that, all going to possibly one place. Because you're counting people that are not even American citizens.
That's right.
So, I mean, my brother, keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm just hoping that, we can get this thing together. But, I mean, hey, this is crazy, man. Love your show. Keep it going, man.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right, shout out to the caller. And that was a great point. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to import voters or people that are going to count as more individuals so they can get more representation. They're trying to put all the people they can into one little small area or into the entire state that are just going to raise their numbers so they can get more power. That's what it's all about. They don't really care about trying to help people and all this, that, and the third. That's not even really the point. That's so far beyond what the point is. The point is just trying to get more power, trying to get more money, trying to, impose their will on the American people by way of illegal immigration. That's pretty much what I see. But I'm gonna get to some more calls. 240, the line I'm speaking to.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, what's up, baby? It was JB. What's up, brother?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Nothing much, another day, another dollar. Man, some of these calls are crazy. That one guy who's debating you destroy every week. I listen to him like, just shut up, man. just go dig a grave and jump in, sir. You have no point.
Yeah, shout out to Ivan.
Yeah, Ivan, you're an idiot. I didn't mean to say it to him, but he is, man. Come on, man. You can come on the show every day and study your way to a point that you don't exist. Just be quiet, man. That's how I know he's not married or have a wife that puts him in his place. My wife, I can't come to my wife with no dumb answer. She'll destroy me. I gotta come to her logically. But things are getting crazy nowadays, man. Have you know, like the transgender woman who said she got attacked. Well, the guy who got attacked, the guy with a wig on, who got attacked, who said he was attacking the Trump supporter, and then they paint a picture like, oh, he attacked them. No, he didn't. You attacked him. You stepped on his picture, and then you got it on tape stepping on it, and then you got a video of you stepping on it, and then you gonna sit there and act like you the victim.
Exactly. I mean, that was crazy. It's like, come on, like it's clear what's going on here, but is she trying to, or she, he, whatever the pronoun is, trying to paint this narrative? Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're trying to paint this narrative about being the victim. It ain't that. You gotta just be real with what's happening here. You're not the victim.
Exactly. Like I read a post when this one girl posted, black trans women are women, period. So what you're trying to say is that black women can't be women. A guy can transform and be a better black woman than you are. That's what you're saying in that post. Am I right?
Yeah, 100% correct. 100%. And then the thing about it is, if you can just say you identify as a woman, then what's the point of having women's sports or anything just for women? Black girls rock. Exactly. Well, what do you mean black girls rock? Black boys rock too if they want to be girls, or they can just say they're girls today. So all their whole thing it makes no sense when you really look at it.
Exactly, and then the thing about it hurts the female brand, and that's what I was trying to tell people. I said this whole thing they got going around. Oh my God, go ahead, girl. When you do that, what you're doing is you are diminishing who you are. You are. You really are. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then it's getting crazier with this whole, and now everybody's talking about this whole caveat thing. They bring Judge Kavanaugh up again, talking about how the lady supported him. Her daughter's gonna get a seat on the judge. So what? It's called. That's how you do things. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's life. I've done that before, haven't you?
Oh yeah, that's life. I mean, that's not anything new.
Exactly. See, but these crazy liberals, and let me tell you something. Do you know they are protesting a straight day? Like literally, I was on a Lyft ride. This guy said, "You heard about that thing they're talking about? They want to have a straight day." I said, "What's wrong with that?" I said, "I'm down for it. Hey, we need a straight day. We can force straightening down people's throat like they force gay down our throat." And he lost it. He got triggered. Oh my God, why would you say that? A little yelling and everything. I'm like, what a Lyft car. Grow the hell up, dude. And everybody at Lyft was laughing. I was like, you're a loser for that. You know what? No one cares. No one's catering to your little soft butt.
Yeah, nobody cares. It's not, people just gotta just grow up. Get out of this childlike mind state.
That your feelings matter. You're an adult. Your feelings don't matter. You know what? I guarantee you don't go to work next day. You can't pay the rent. No one's going to care if you're gay. They're just going to put you out on the streets.
That's right.
So that's where I'm at now. And another thing, brother, man, and keep the good work up, man. Keep the good work up, ABL. And another thing is, man, did you get Days Gone yet, brother?
I didn't get it yet, but I'm going to get it. I'm playing Dying Light right now. It's so I'm getting into that and I'm enjoying that. So I might play Days Gone after I'm done with Dying Light.
Can I say something, though? It's a great feel when you get into the storyline. Like one part of the game, my wife came downstairs, seen a little girl I saved, and she started crying. I was like, "Oh, this is a good game." Then my wife's crying over a video game. And another good game you might want to check out. Oh, did you hear about the update for the Division 2 about how you get a four man team and you go? You heard about that?
What, doing
You hear about that?
doing the raid?
Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah. I heard it was real hard though.
Yeah, it's hard to get a group together, a good group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, brother, man. You have a nice one, man. Have a good rest of the day, brother, man. Keep the faith, and things are going to change, brother.
No doubt, man. Thank you for the call.
All right, chat room. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you to JB for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to everybody in the chat that is watching. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to get in through Skype and be right here in the bottom left-hand corner, there is the email for that in the description box below. All righty. Now, let me see what we got here. I'm reading some of the chat. Yeah, HRC stole furniture from the White House. I think I did see that. How you going to steal furniture from the White House? What's really going on? Like, why would you do that? Billery, whatever you want to call them, have plenty of money. So what's the purpose in stealing? I don't quite understand, but let me get to my next call. SOBC, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? How you doing there today?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Are you aware that Women's World Cup is going on?
Well, yeah, I did see that.
Soccer World Cup.
Yeah, I was watching the news and then they talked about it, and I was like, okay, that's nice, but I can't really say I care too much.
Exactly right. I'm a huge soccer fan, but I had no idea this was going on.
Right.
Only just found out yesterday after USA wiped Thailand 13-0.
Yeah,
that's
when I saw
that's more than one.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I guess Thailand is not a powerhouse in soccer, because that's like you didn't even really try.
Exactly. And CNN came out and said, so they came out with a headline and said women's soccer have scored more goals than men. Have scored more goals than men to date, and they're still getting paid less than the men. And I'm like,
well, I mean, come on, like the reason for that is what we just talked about just now. We didn't even know what was going on. Nobody wants to watch that. So if nobody's watching the sport, how are you going to make money? It's simple. Just like the WNBA. Nobody's watching that. Like, I don't care about women playing most sports. All thing I want to see from women play sports is maybe tennis, like Venus and Serena, or like gymnastics, figure skating, sports like that was more feminine. But volleyball, yes. But I'm not trying to see a bunch of burly looking women out there getting dirty on the ground, and no thank you.
Exactly. And I mean, anyone who's taken economics 101 knows that the demand for that is just you can't compare that to the demand of men's soccer,
That's right.
But anyway, just thought I would say that. But the reason I called, I just wanted to talk about that. This is the last time I'm gonna talk about it, because I feel like people have talked about it much. And I was just laughing out loud when you showed that picture of Judge Mathis crying like a little girl.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Anyway, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised he's he would do that. He's done crazy things in the past. So I'm not surprised he's done that.
Right.
But anyway, so I did not watch that documentary, and I refuse to watch it, and I'm not going to watch it. However, I did my research online. I watched a few. I watched this documentary from I think a channel back in the UK, and they made this documentary about maybe 10 years ago about this case. So they were coming from a really objective point of view, they were not coming from attacking Trump point of view like this documentary is. So yeah, I did that. I read plenty of articles, and I've come to the conclusion that these guys were innocent because the cops were doing plenty of illegal stuff, and they knew it was illegal, and they still did it. You know, they still did it just to pin the case on these guys. I guess the case got a lot of press, and they wanted to close it, and they wanted to make it look like they'd done something. So they were going to railroad anyone that came in the way. And these little 5 boys at that time were in the way, and they got blamed for it. So, the cops were interviewing them without their parents present. That's highly illegal. You don't do that as a cop. Mm-hmm. And they were writing statements for the kids, which is extra illegal. So they were just doing a bunch of things. So I mean, this information it's right there at your fingertips. Once you just go on Google, just look it up. And the thing is, I think these little kids were scared at the time. I think they were out there at the park, just doing. They were up to no good that day. So I don't think they definitely did not commit the crime, but I think they were scared. They were scared they're scared about the cops finding out about the other stuff that we're doing. So I guess they, I don't know, but that's the impression I got from the research I've done and the documentary I watched.
So the question I have would be, what else did they do? Because you were saying that the cops were they were afraid of the cops finding out other things that they were doing. What else did they do in that situation?
So, well, there was one kid. I forgot his name. I think it was some Spanish kid. He was adamant, and he refused to play the games of the cops. He refused to admit being involved with a rape, and he stood firm. However, he did admit to committing some type of robbery that same day, earlier that same day. So I think they got him on that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one example I have for that.
Okay, I got you.
Right, but overall, I think these kids were innocent. The cops were highly corrupt. The DA she was corrupt as well. I think she only did that to grow her career, and it was unfortunate. But and also another thing I wanted to say, I mean, I don't blame Trump for whatever ads he put out. I mean, he didn't know at the time. He was just going off information from the cops and from the press. I mean, this was a high, very, very popular case. So, I don't blame Trump for what he did. He made a mistake back then. I mean, but that mistake was just based off of wrong information.
Right.
So, anyway, that's all I have. I mean, I refuse to watch that documentary on Netflix because I don't want to see the whole emotional games, the whole emotional tone. They're trying to, I'm not up to those emotional things. So yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
I'm with you on that because I know what it's going to be. It's going to be one of these things trying to get people upset and get people mad and not focus on the facts of the case. So I'm
exactly.
with you. Yeah.
Right. But anyway, great show. Keep up the great work.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you to SOPC for the call. Yeah. So one thing about the Central Park 5, I've not done a ton of research. I've done some. I've read a little bit here and there, but I can't really say that I'm that interested in the case. One thing I do know is that cases like this are just used by these Ava DuVernays, the person that directed the I guess it's like a little mini series. They have a they have an ulterior motive to get people to be upset and not focus on the facts of the case. Just to use your emotion to get mad so you don't vote Trump in 2020, or you actively vote against Trump in 2020, or you go out there and be part of the so-called resistance. So they'll use some facts to, just bolster their narrative and not really for any other real reason. In my opinion, that's just kind of what I see. But thank you to everybody that has called so far. If you're just now joining, please give me a thumbs up. I definitely appreciate you. Alrighty. Shout out to my man Chandler. I see you in the chat, boss. Thank you for joining. Most certainly appreciate it. I'm gonna read some of these some of the chat. Now, the thing about the kids is that they were at the scene. See, there's one thing I read from the prosecutor is that the case was not originally designed to pin them for a rape. It was because of all the other things they did. But that's just what I've seen. And like I said, I got to do some more research. But there was a lot more to the case than what met the eye. And it's easy for a person like, what's her name, Ava DuVernay, to leave out some of the information, to focus on salacious details and sometimes skew the information to fit the particular narrative. But let me get to my next call here. All right, call you on the line 323.
Yo, ABL was good.
What's happening, man?
The snap turtle. What's going on?
Oh, everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Oh man, I had some thoughts about this gay pride parade, and I'm wondering how many arrests were made. Did you ever wonder that?
That's what I want to know, because I saw some things. I saw some video that shouldn't have been online. Number one, and number two, from the video I saw, there should have been some arrests that were made, because you have kids doing things they shouldn't be doing. You got adults right there engaging in it. So whoever was involved with that needs to get locked up.
And you know what? I did a video on my thoughts about the Central Park 5, and I forgot an important point. And when did that start? When did that come out?
I'm not sure.
Did that come out last week?
I think so. It's been pretty recent.
Okay. So when did Gay Pride Day month start? Last week, right?
That's right.
Now, we're so outraged and emotional about this Central Park 5 stuff, because that's why they put it out. As part of, to derive emotionalism in people. And then behind that, in the background, you got gay men walking around with the wangs out right in front of children in America.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, what's really going on here? You got people hanging with the wangs hanging out. You got gay couples kissing little boys in the mouth, like, and then you got these little boys on stage getting dollars thrown at them. Why aren't these people getting arrested?
The thing about it is you have clear pedophiles out in the open. They're just out in the open doing whatever they want to do. And I think the reason why there's no arrest is because you got people that are too afraid, too spineless to actually call it what it is, because it's at a gay pride parade. If they could, they're just expressing themselves. Nah, I don't care about what somebody identifies as. If you got two consenting adults, that's fine. If they consent and they're adults, they could do whatever they want to do. But you got children. No. It ain't. It ain't about no homosexuality. It ain't about nothing. It don't matter if they straight, gay. That needs to be stopped instantly. But see, people are too afraid to get into the minutia of trying to break apart that. But if I was an officer, I'd be out there with handcuffs, arresting people.
And the police were out there guarding them fools. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been like that. It should have been the other way around.
Eye to it.
Right.
Now, imagine if we had a straight pride parade, right?
Yeah.
And we decided that we wanted to walk around in the parade butt naked and screw our wives on the float.
Oh, nah.
What do you think's gonna happen?
Oh, indecent exposure, all type of stuff. Like, before you even got to really get in it, you be getting arrested.
everybody at that parade will be sex offenders, registered sex offenders.
100% instantly.
Man, it's like, see, you know, with the whole what's that Snapchat crap? What they got, the age and all that stuff. They're incorporating age into this LGBTQ stuff, and then they got the age gap love, and they're slowly introducing this crap into society. It's been wild, and much respect to that governor, or no, who was that? I think he was in Oklahoma. Wants to introduce a bill that would castrate pedophiles.
Alabama.
Chemically castrate pedophiles who would mess with a child that's 15 and younger. It's very specific. It's not just, oh, you got caught pissing on the street, we're going to castrate you. And see, when I talked about this to black folks, right? I know a lot of black people. They're like, oh, this is just a ploy to sterilize black men and keep our population down. I'm like, oh my God. Do you know how hard it would be to find a 15-year-old victim or younger to go along with this whole thing just to lock up black men?
Right. I mean, that's so far-fetched, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's absurd.
It's specific. It's not saying, oh, you know, it's saying it's very specific. If you are caught sexually assaulting or abusing a child 15 and younger, you have to have a victim. They would have to find a victim to, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, now I see why it's getting ridiculous. We're so blinded, so they don't want this thing to happen. It's a good thing to discourage this behavior. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm for that bill. But anyway, yeah, man. I'll holler at you later, man.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, no problem. Peace.
All right, thank you to Snap Turtle for the call. If you guys want to subscribe to my man Snap Turtle, I'm gonna put a link right here in the box so you can subscribe to him. You know, let me see. I'll put this right here in the chat. Subscribe to Snap Turtle. There we go, right there. Yeah, go subscribe to Snap Turtle. A lot of great comments. Yeah, the Pride Parade. You know, I don't care what somebody identifies as. That's their business. But you got two adults, that's fine. A child involved with that? No. And not only did these adults have their genitalia out in front of children, small children. I'm talking like not just under the age of 8. I'm talking about 5, 6 years old, little kids. Not only was that going on, they also had these little kids out there dancing like in a suggestive way. No way does that go through in a society where you have a brain in your head at all. Let me go to my next call. 470, you on the line. I'm speaking to 470.
Hello. Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. Why you hung up on me Saturday night, Anthony?
Hey, that was your Obama phone. I didn't do nothing. I was listening. All of a sudden, the phone went dead. You got to put some more minutes on your phone. And it happened again. Hey, I promise. I promise that wasn't me. You got to get your Obama phone some more minutes. You trying to call into the show, right? And then as soon as you call in, it hangs up. All right, they calling back, I think. All right, caller. Let's get the phone tighten up a little bit.
You hung up on me, Anthony. Why you do me like that, Anthony?
Listen, sir, put some more minutes on your phone.
Excuse me, Anthony. It's ma'am, Anthony.
Hey, whatever your pronouns are, you got to tighten your phone up. How about that?
Whatever, Anthony. Don't be talking about my Obama phone. It might be a Kamala phone soon anyway, Anthony.
I doubt that.
But anywho, Anthony, you gonna come down to our gay pride parade in Atlanta, Anthony?
No, I'm not. I think I'm good.
Whatever, Anthony. People try to invite you somewhere so you could be special with us, but you don't even want to come down and join the party, Anthony.
I'm good to go. You guys can have all the fun. I'll just be over here doing my thing. Now, if you have a straight pride parade, I'll go to that. That'd be a lot of fun. Would you go to a straight pride parade?
Yes, I would, Anthony. What's wrong with that?
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying. People are upset about having the straight pride parade. They're talking about that it is disrespectful to people that are in the LGBT community. How you feel about that?
Well, Anthony, ain't nothing wrong with a straight pride parade or a gay pride parade. I just, we just want to be accepted by everybody else, Anthony.
Well, some people not the same way. Some people want to just have their thing be the only thing and nothing else. But I'm glad you're able to accept both sides. That's good.
But Anthony, I want to know why your man won't let them fly the gay pride flag on the flagpole on the embassies, Anthony, and at the White House. Why he won't put the White House in the rainbow, Anthony?
Well, the embassies, you can only have one flag on the flagpole. That's the American flag. No other flag. So it ain't nothing against anybody or any other group or any other flag. It's about having one flag on the flagpole. Now, as far as the White House, look, we don't got to do all that. It's not necessary. So we can just have the White House be the White House and have that be that.
So why we can't just take the American flag now and put the rainbow flag up there, Anthony?
Well, it's a U.S. embassy. It's not the gay pride embassy. So we got to make sure that everybody know where they're at. And every other country has their flag on their flagpole.
Well, just for 1 month, it could be the gay embassy, Anthony.
Look, no, thank you. That's not how it works. When I'm trying to get my visa to go to a different country, it's not going to be at the gay embassy. It's going to be at the U.S. embassy.
Well, Anthony, we just don't want to be under the rainbow. It's okay, Anthony.
And that's my choice. Go ahead, though.
And what you think about Pete Booty, Anthony?
You said what now? What's his name?
Pete Booty. He was drinking with the fellas, Anthony. He was drinking some Wild Irish Rose.
That's that bum juice right there. Wild Irish Rose. Wow. I saw a dude on the street literally drinking some Wild Irish. I seen that's the kind of liquor you see on the ground, like right next to some trash. But anyway, yeah, it didn't look too good. If you're trying to become the president, that's not what you do. Drinking out of a brown bag, that's some crackhead type stuff. So I was not impressed by that at all.
Excuse me, Anthony. I was drinking some Wild Irish Rose out of brown bag just the other day and some Bud Light, Anthony.
Hey, well, I don't know what you be getting into, but that's not really what I think is appropriate for the president or the future president, if he's trying to become that, to be doing.
We was at the Pride Parade, Anthony, in Atlanta.
Oh, that's where he was? In Atlanta?
No, he was in New York. I was at the Pride in Atlanta.
Okay. So is that what y'all do? Y'all drink bum juice at the Pride Parade?
Well, no, we were just getting messed up, Anthony, so we was going to have us some fun.
Hey, whatever y'all do, that's your business. I'm just saying, it's not becoming of a guy that's trying to become the president to do that.
Whatever, Anthony. Pete Booty may become president of the United States and come to the gay pride in Atlanta and be in the boardwalk with us, Anthony.
Hey, he might come down there, but he'd be a tourist. He's not going to be no president or anything like that.
Yes, he will.
Hey, we'll see about that. We'll definitely see.
Mm-hmm. We just don't want Pete Booty to be in the White House, Anthony, but it's okay, Anthony.
All right.
And what's wrong with your friend Kamala, Anthony?
What did she do?
The other day, she got up on stage talking about something. I don't know about her, Anthony. I'm just trying to change my mind about her sometime. But, she a sister, so I got to stick with our people, Anthony.
Well, look, if she's not doing the right thing, it don't matter what she is. She could be any color in the rainbow. No pun intended. It don't matter. She still got to be a good president. So if she's not doing right, then that shouldn't be. You shouldn't vote for her just because she's black if she's not doing right.
Well, who I'm gonna vote for, Anthony? I vote for Stacey.
Well, she ain't gonna be. Come on, Stacey N1 Abrams. She ain't gonna be able to run for no president.
Excuse me, it's Stacey Abrams, Anthony.
Stacey M1 Abrams, like the tank.
Keep playing, Anthony. I'm gonna come through this song.
Nah.
But anywho. Did Nippin call in? I didn't see my little Nippin today, Anthony.
Nippin did call in, yes.
I missed him.
Okay, that's nice. We ain't trying to hear all that though.
Excuse me.
We're not trying to hear all that. If you want to talk to Nippin, you can holler at him privately.
Well, he know my number anyway. But anywho, Anthony, I'm finna get ready to go because I'm finna head down here to Midtown Atlanta to the Bulldog, Anthony. I just stopped watching Kevin's Corner with that nice shiny black
all right. Okay. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed Kevin's Corner. Shout out to my man Kevin, and shout out to everybody out there.
Lucas.
Shout out to Lucas.
Oh, you know
all right.
how I am, Anthony. When I hear his name, I just don't know what to do. Oh.
Okay, that's nice. Well, thank you for the call.
Okay, Anthony. I'll see you Saturday, Anthony.
All right, now. Take care.
You gonna have your marker hat on Saturday for me, Anthony?
Look. I'm not dressing for you, sir. I'm gonna put on whatever I want to put on.
Excuse me, Anthony. It's ma'am, Anthony.
All right. Well, whatever your pronouns are, thank you for the call.
Bye, Anthony.
All right, now shout out to the caller. And if anybody just now, that's a repeat troll. I think I know who that is. I've narrowed it down, and I'm gonna leave that there. I may see them coming up soon. The actual person that's behind that's not a real person. So shout out to you. You know who you are. I think I know who you are as well. I thought it was Lucas, but it ain't him. So shout out to everybody in the chat. If you're just now coming in, please hit the like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me. All right, call you on the line. 702.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Mark.
All right, Mark, what's happening?
Hey, nothing much. Just reading through your topics this evening. The thing about the gay flags and the flags flying over. How many supporters can they possibly have in the country? I'm surprised that the rest of the population lies down while these people put up the flag and they're actually intimidated by that flag, because I would think like the Confederate flag would have more support than the gay flag. You know what I mean? Because those people actually fought. Like Native Americans, they fought. Confederates, they fought. Like, what did like the LGBTQ ever like sacrifice in order to get these protected class status?
Well, you know what's happening now, you have the LGBT community to the liberal left. It's like the new black community. So it's like a protected, it's like they're victims at this point. So if there's anything that can be done to protect them, they're going to try to do it. And that can include things that don't make any sense as far as protection, like flying the flag. How is that going to protect somebody? It doesn't make any sense, but to those on the left, it makes perfect sense.
Right. To me, it's more of a symbol of oppression and domination as they force a grooming by trans and homosexual people onto the youngest of people. So, your last caller who talked about how would they ever find a person underage who was involved in that type of thing. I almost guarantee they could find one in like a parishioner of like Eddie Long, or maybe like some of these other people. I don't think it would be very difficult at all. I heard it's very common, and it would certainly be common in other places as well. Obviously, and that's the thing is like, they go so hard at the Catholics, and then they do exactly what they say the Catholics are being vilified for. They're like, how dare you assault these children, and yet they're assaulting children with the, like you said, the exposure at the parades. And then like these ambushing them with these trans reading things and stuff like that. It's just really bizarre.
That's right.
Yeah, and another thing is, I don't know if you saw where Jon Stewart, he he gave this big thing, and it was great. I mean, I totally support him, but he was like in support of like the 9/11 responders, right? And he was like, they haven't received the treatment and the compensation that they said they would get. Where are you? And like they've been dragging. And that was 2001. You know, I mean, that's that's like 18 years ago now, or you know, and so, you know, whether it's that or the illegals getting health care in California, when the guys that sacrificed everything don't get the free health care that they're going to give to these illegals. This is another case of people who have, without a shot fired, who have never had to struggle and never had to sacrifice getting civil rights protections in the case of the homosexuals and trans and stuff, and getting health care in the case of the illegal aliens. None of this stuff was worked and bled for by these groups. You know what I mean? And it's just like, for anyone to go along with it, I just scratch my head, you know, especially like, you know, you would think like the blacks, like they worked hard for what they got. And it's like, you know, to see them pissed away on flamers, on cross-dressing flamers with glitter on their eyeballs. And like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, you know?
I'm right there with you, man. 100%.
Yeah, and so yeah, well, the 9/11 guys are still hurt. The illegals are getting free health care, and it's just like, and you know, and this is something that Jon Stewart won't bring up. He won't bring up like the open borders. It's a thing that Dan Crenshaw won't bring up either. It's like how can you call yourself this fighting, like I'm supposed to honor you as this big fighting hero, and you can't even protect the border. We're gonna get Ebola while you're giving out this free health care. I'm going to be bleeding from my pores.
That's right. I mean, you got all kind of crazy diseases. You know, I'm looking at the so-called migrant caravan, and you got doctors along the way trying to get people shots to immunize them. It's like, look, it's a little bit too late. This guy right here has open sores. He has leprosy. Like, how are you going to give him a shot now? It's too late. He's coming into the country, and he's going to spread whatever he has. So that problem is really severe, and if you're not talking about that, then what are we really talking about? Just, you know, surface level things that don't make a difference.
You know, that's actually a great point you bring up with the leprosy or like the gangrene or any other bug that these people have, like typhus or Ebola. You know, as that queer flag flies, you know, the stats on those people, you know, they're far more likely to have syphilis. They're far more likely to have hepatitis, HIV, bipolar disorder, and that's the rainbow flag people. So in addition to that, you bring in these bug-chasing people, and these people are averaging, like, the rainbow flag, they average like 300 to 500 partners minimum in the course of a life. It's like, it's a formula, it's a vector for disease and rampant pestilence. And then it's like you're talking about free health care. It's just like you're pouring gasoline on these fires. You have biohazards everywhere. And and then they're like talking about like how they care about health care or something. It's just like it's what they call it, you know, it really is clown world. But the most insulting thing about it though is that the people that they're trying to rip the statues out. Do you know that Robert E. Lee was a West Point graduate?
I did not know that.
I only found it out the other day. I don't know why I was looking up, but I was like, okay, who are the West Point generals or who are notable West Point graduates? And Robert E. Lee was one of them. And these are statues you want to rip down. But, you know, whether it's the Robert E. Lees of the world or the Red Man, you know, they fought. Even the Red Man protected his borders more than we do.
1,000%. Absolutely. Because before the Europeans came, they had, like, their own territories. And they fight you to the death to protect their territory. Same thing with the Aboriginals. They had their territories, so they would have their own little land and resources. And if you step foot into their territory, instant death.
Yeah. And they fought hard to the point where they were a symbol of war itself.
Correct.
I mean, we don't have statues of Ares here, but we have statues of like the dude in the headdress with the tomahawk or something. You know what I mean? We name our missiles after that damn thing. But anyway, with pint interest, how was it exposed? Is that like the Christian thing?
Yeah, it was a Christian thing, and also the pro-life website that had been censored on Pinterest.
Okay. okay, yeah, the Pinterest, that's interesting because I heard they were censoring like Bible verses and stuff, and I was raised Christian. I miss it. I thought it was actually cool at the time. Over the course of time, it was like weaned out of me due to peer pressure. And, I went down everything, watched a lot of video, got way into the whole pop culture thing. But after seeing David Lynn and the risk that he takes, I just think it's cool. I think it's cool to be a preacher. I think it's cool to be like a street preacher. Nobody takes more risk. Nobody takes more heat. And I think it's cooler to be like a preacher. They're like the underground. Now they're like how the gays used to be in the closet. Yeah. Now it's like you have these closet underground railroad preacher Christian dudes that are like have to hide who they are and do everything stealth and fly under the radar and try to spread like, hey, would you like to be clean and sober? Would you like to have a disease and drug-free life and maybe like a wife and children? Right. Shh, don't tell anyone. They might come after you. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like you're the Rebel Alliance or something flying underground of the Rainbow Flag Empire because they're just out to like destroy anybody who would I would just like stability and tranquility. Maybe hear a dove every now and then, the sun shining, the birds chirping. How dare you want that? You got to have like twerking rioters after the big game. Oh, but speaking of that, man. Money team. ABL is the new money team. If you didn't put money on the Raptors when ABL told you to, what are you doing? You're just pissing away free money, the best kind of money.
Gotta tell him, man. Gotta tell him what's going on. I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, for sure. But it's funny because being a Gen Xer or whatever, they put the rock star on the pedestal, and then there was the rock stars, then there were the gangster rappers, and more than a rock star, more than a rapper, I feel like the Christian minister that's willing to like say the gospel. It's almost like, to me, they're like if there was like an MTV like preacher television, like the exploits of people trying to like get people off drugs and alcohol, get them to stop like being bug chasing queers, getting them to stop like philandering around. It's like that would be the ultimate warrior these days. You know what I mean? Like anyone saying, "Hey, take the needle out of your arm."
Right.
Like
that's the ultimate counterculture. You be like a straight renegade saying something like that, which at one point was like the square thing to do. Now that's like super radical. You might go to jail, lose your life for saying something like that, which used to be something like really corny and plain to say.
Yeah. Just telling someone, hey, man, there's your life will improve if you stop smoking crack, and they'll get mad at you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, and when I was growing up, a lot of dudes, they wanted to be players and stuff like that, and that stuff's cool, but as you kind of age, it's like it's just not anymore. And it's like, these dudes, these young guys, they want to be like Wilt Chamberlain. They're like, yeah, I want 500 to 1,000 cavorting women with whom to fornicate. And when I'm in my casket and pine box, I still want a flagpole where they can hang that flag there when I'm done or whatever. It's like, dude, when you're done, and it makes no friggin' difference. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. It's just bizarre, the impulsive things that people are chasing, and then the people that they vilify are like, hey, you can be a stable career professional, and they're like, how dare you? But it's sad that they would do that to Tim Allen, Jeff Foxworthy, those working class people, legendary comics, and to hit him with that kind of an accusation, that's sad.
It's just knee-jerk reactions on Twitter. People just see a thing, and then beyond that, it's because he's seen as conservative because of his show is not like the typical left-leaning propaganda. And so when something like that comes out about not playing spades, which is so silly, then it's automatically, oh, that's why I knew he was always racist. And then since you don't have enough really to say anything about his, racism or lack thereof from something so simple, now you want to dig into his past and all this, that, and the third. So people are just, the social media has made people just kind of silly and reactionary. And this story will be gone within a few days with the damage could last a long time if you Tim Allen, which is really unfortunate.
We'll see. You know, in Rainbow Flag Clown World, where you know, you have nothing but psychological abuse in their relationships. I feel like with Tim Allen calling him racist because he doesn't know how to play spades, isn't the subliminal message as follows? You tell me if I'm sick for thinking this. I think probably. But it's almost like they want to take Tim Allen and force him belly down and ink him a tramp stamp of a spade, like he's a cock. You know what I mean? And plant the flag, you know where. You know what I mean? It's like, is that really what's going on here? You know what I mean? They want him to be a cock. Oh, you need to have a spade like inked onto your body and branded. You damn, because you know. Let's face it. He was Tool. He was Mr. Tool Time, right? He was like R, more power, more cable, more wrench, and you know what I mean. He was like the ultimate comic, really.
Wow, that's wild. But yeah, they're just trying to find something to be upset about, something to be offended by, as usual. And maybe they want to do what you're just talking about as well, to have like that. That might be the ultimate goal. If they're able to get it, then they can just take it. But we've been on for a while, so thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, thanks a lot for taking it, sir. Consistently. Take care. Bye bye.
I know. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. But yeah, Tim the Two Man Taylor. Calling him a racist, it's absurd, but not surprising in the least bit, not at all. I don't think anybody is really surprised that they tried to label him as a racist. It just, you know, that's not even really a thing that anybody should be surprised by. So shout out to everybody in the chat. The Clown World. I may do a Clown World shirt or a Clown World hat. Put some emojis. I can do the Clown World hat and also the shirt to go with it. I think I'm gonna do that. So that'll be some new merch. And if you're looking for some merch, if you're looking for these hats, there should be a carousel of hats and shirts and whatnot right up under this video. You can click right there and get them. Also, the flags are available in the description box. So right up under the shirts, go into the description box. There should be like this little green check mark that says Wooden Flags. Go right there to bhedesigns.com and hook you right on up with some good flags. You know, 100% wood, handcrafted, beautiful, beautiful flags. So if you're looking for something like that, then go ahead and check it on out. But who do we got? Did I get everybody? Oh, super chat. Okay, I'm slipping. Thank you to Boat Like a Leopard for the super chat who says, great hat, ABL. Working on big investigation right now. All right. Sounds good to me, man. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to Jose Calderon who said, this is my third name I've had to use to be able to chat. The Antichrist Google kicks me off because this Hispanic loves Trump. Viva Trump. Wait, man. Hopefully they stop. I don't know what's really going on, but I'm glad you dedicated. And thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Snap Turtle who says gay pride equals letting your wang hang in front of kids and kissing little boys in the mouth, ? Apparently it does, but it shouldn't. And like you said in the call earlier, anybody that does that needs to get locked up ASAP. But thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Pamela Rice who says enjoying show. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And thank you for your donation. Thank you to Jamie Pollard who says thanks for your views, ABL. Well, thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. But let me get to my next call here. All right, caller, you on line 727.
Hi, yes. Is this ABL?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name's Eric. I'm from Omaha.
All right, Eric, what's going on?
Oh, I just saw the title of your live video. I started following you about a week ago, and I just got back from New Jersey, New York City area a couple days ago.
Alrighty.
And so now is that trans actress that attacked the Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Is that the one right in front of the Trump Tower you're talking about?
Well, I don't know where she was, but the person had on the red dress.
Yes, yes. I actually witnessed that whole thing go down.
Oh, you saw it? So
I didn't know. Yeah, yeah. And I saw you posted a video about that either later that night or the next day. I can't recall. But yeah, it kind of happened abruptly. My father-in-law and I were standing out in front of the Trump Tower, just waiting for the girls to go inside Tiffany and Co. I don't know if you're familiar with the area, kind of by Central Park.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so we hear a little crash, and we look over. They had the whole building, by the way, it's all blocked off. There's police barricades all around the building. So we look over, and a group of girls accidentally knocked over some of the barricades. No big deal. Another minute goes by, police come and start picking it up. I believe there's 2 or 3 cops. And everything was pretty good and peaceful. The Trump supporters were just the whole time quietly standing there with their Trump 2020 flags. People come up and talk to them, not really a big deal. Then all of a sudden, yelling kind of just erupted. And we look across the street, and of course, everyone's got their cell phones out immediately, recording it. But we didn't even really see the individual in the red dress at first. But after a while, we noticed that they were there just kind of quietly speaking to the Trump supporters. And then I think some yelling kind of broke out. But really what happened was this larger dude was really up in one of the guy's faces, one of the Trump supporters. And I mean, it was like they were ready to just exchange blows. And thankfully, those cops were only there because those barricades were accidentally knocked over. So they came over and interrupted right away. Otherwise, I'm not sure if a fight would have went down, but this larger dude was just like ready to knock off one of the Trump guys' heads for no reason. It was insane. But it happened really fast. It was probably only 2 or 3 minutes long. But yeah, the Trump guys weren't doing anything wrong. They were just standing there and, just wanted people to vote Trump 2020.
Right. That's usually how it is. People just standing there talking about vote Trump 2020, and then people don't like it, and then they want to start fighting.
Absolutely. And I mean, it was almost like watching a movie. That's how just mad this dude was. I mean, like his fists were balled. His head was just like an inch or 2 away from the other dude's head. And I thought something was about to go down. But those cops are pretty quick at responding, thankfully. So, I mean, what I told my father-in-law was just wait till 2020. I mean, it's probably going to be everywhere.
Oh, yeah, 2020 is going to be a mess. I mean, like, really, it's kind of been going on since the 2016 cycle. So you're talking about 2015, 2016, and then on.
Oh, yeah.
So as it gets closer to the next election, and then the reality sets in that Trump is going to win again, it's going to be ramped up more. You're going to have those that are out there supporting the president and people that are vehemently against him. So you're going to have some issues, like some of the rallies. If Trump has rallies in certain places, it's going to get kind of vamped up. Like the last time he tried to go to Chicago and have a rally, that didn't go too well. So imagine if he tries to go back to Chicago again for a second term. That might not be the best thing to do. But hey, stuff like that just shows why Trump is going to win. So the more that the left keeps trying to resist with violence, the more that the right becomes empowered.
Oh, absolutely. And I think being peaceful is just the greatest tactic in the world. It seems that it only benefits the right and just people that want this country to do well, and it just enrages the people on the left. And following you for just a week or two now, admittingly, I just stumbled across you and a few other good folks on YouTube. It seems like a common thing that the left they're getting heated, and they just can't take no or a loss for an answer.
That's right.
So I don't really have much more to add to that. I just thought I'd give you some objective account of what went down, because I saw the article and I saw the title here on tonight's live video, I think, pertaining to that. But I appreciate what you do, and God bless.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
All right, thank you for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to my man Snap Turtle for the super chat, who says too much emotionalism going on. Yo, ABL, I'd like for my first interview to be with you on a hangout. I think we can make that happen. We can make it happen, man. Emailing me is probably the best way so I don't forget what's happening. And my email is on my website, but the email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. And again, that's on the website, right on the contact page. So, if you can't remember it right now, you can just go to the site and it's right there. And if anybody wants to send me an email, that's my email address. It's also on my website, anthonyblogan.com. You can also send me some things through the snail mail if you want to. The book behind me was sent to me through snail mail from one of you guys out there. And I've got quite a few things from you guys. So you can send me anything. That's my P.O. box. You can send me a big item, a small item, cash in the envelope, whatever it is, you can do that. I'd appreciate it. And that's pretty much it as far as contact is concerned. But let me see some of the chat here to make sure I got everybody. Hold on 1 second. All right, I got everybody on Super Chat. Yeah, now YouTube got kind of how can I explain? The Vox article from that guy that was trying to attack Crowder, it wound up getting people that had nothing to do with politics at all because YouTube was so afraid of any kind of negative publicity for the advertiser's sake that they just kind of went scorched earth on people that could be political or have any kind of content that could be seen as political. You understand what I'm saying? Educational content that was talking about some political topics, although not political at all in nature. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have an educational video about Nazis in Germany. It's not giving an opinion at all. It's not talking about good or bad or anything like that. It's about, here's the facts of what happened. Videos like that have been terminated, have been removed from the platform, or have been put into a purgatory state, meaning you can't really comment or anything like that on it. You can't like or comment. You can watch it maybe, and that's pretty much it. And some have been totally removed from the platform altogether. So that's the end result. And even some of the guy's friends, Carlos Miles, the guy from Vox, even some of his friends got their videos taken down. And he's talking about, oh, it's not me, this, that, and the third. But yes, it is you, sir, because you're the one that came out here and got these videos taken down off the internets. So, you're responsible. But let me get to my next call. 780 on the line, I'm speaking to.
Hi there.
Hello.
Anthony.
Yes, indeed.
It's Liza Jean.
Liza Jean, what's going on?
Calling with, I don't know, we're living in idiocracy. Anyone who's not seen that movie, I encourage them to watch it.
Oh,
right?
I've seen that a few times now because it was really ahead of its time.
Well, it's happening now. And the funny thing is this. We see a lot of blowback from gay pride and the rainbow flags and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
Well, guess who the mascot for the straight pride parade is?
I don't know who.
Milo Yiannopoulos.
That's hilarious.
I actually don't find that funny. It's just predictable.
Now, I don't understand the context. How was he the mascot of the straight pride parade? I don't get it.
Because he has agents and they're trying to handle his career.
Okay.
Have you not seen that online?
I've not really been following it too closely, so I don't know what's really going on with it.
Well, they're pushing for July to be. This is just backlash from the whole gay thing, and there are people, and apparently it's going to be. Just look it up online. It's supposed to be happening in Boston. Oh, remember the Boston bombing? Oh, was that everything that they reported it to be? Oh, was the Vegas shooting? Did we ever find out what happened? You see, there's so many false flags. And when they put Milo Yiannopoulos up as the mascot of the Straight Pride Parade, can I just go to sleep and not wake up, please?
I understand where you're coming from. I do.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say. Look that up. Everything gets co-opted. And, okay, one last question. All right. The Democrats, they don't really have any platform, do they?
None whatsoever. Their whole thing is F Trump. That's their whole platform for 2020.
Okay, well, good luck with that. Let's see what happens in the future. I'm really glad that I got through, and I have a lot of respect for you. Bye.
Thank you for the call. All righty, Elijah Jean, thank you for the call. As always, most certainly appreciate you. Yeah, Democrats have no platform, and they know they don't really. They never really had any kind of platform, honestly. Not in recent times. I mean, even when Barack Obama came into office, what was his platform? Hope and change. Hope and change for what? And like it wasn't even a tangible thing that you could put your hand on, or you can look at and touch and see, okay, this is what he wants to do. It's all about just, hopefully things get better. Hopefully things change. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Do you know? That was the platform, really. So there was no actual plan. There was no course of action that they could point to and say, this is what we're going to do. This is what's happening. So it's just kind of weird. And now they have even less than that. Now the whole thing is we hate Trump and hopefully you do as well. So this is what we're going to just talk about for the next, I don't know how many years. And some individuals may vote based on that. They just may do it. Now, I can't really say I understand how that makes any sense, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess what my viewpoints on this don't make a difference. I guess it doesn't really make a difference. People are going to do what they're going to do regardless of what, I suppose. All righty, but let me see. Did I get everybody? Okay. Yes, we can. Yeah, that was right. Hope and change. Yes, we can. Yes, we can do what? Yes, we can have record unemployment. Yes, we can have bankruptcies and people losing their shirt. Yes, we can become a third world nation in 8 years. Yes, we can do what? I don't really know. And I voted for the guy in 2008 when I was still a liberal. And 2011, 2012, I'm like, okay, this ain't really going the way I thought. We're going the other direction, and I don't see him have an actual game plan. What's the plan? Like, you go into it thinking, okay, this may be a good thing. He may be able to have a plan for the future, but once you get into it, it's no plan, it's nothing, and nothing's going right. So you don't see an exit strategy that makes sense. So you just say, you know what? All right, how about we just go the opposite direction? Just change course and get out of this whole thing. All right. So that's pretty much where I was with the whole situation. And I'm glad that I made that decision. So while Obama, I think his intention was not to have people leave and jump ship, that was the actual result. And it maybe it's a good thing that happened. But hey, it is what it is. Thank y'all for joining. That'll be a wrap for me. I'm gonna go ahead and close it on now. Yes, we can have man rallies. That's hilarious. All right, and shout out to all the moderators. You guys know who you are. We got Michelle A, Cynthia Webb. Shout out to you, Cynthia Webb. I see you. Shreeves, Elijah Jean, Bill from the Hills, Ansel, T-Pain, of course, the boss. I said Michelle A, right? Yeah, and everybody. Shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. And again, if you're just now coming in, if you just came in recently, please like the video, share the video. And if you are a first-time viewer, please subscribe to the channel. And that's all I got. I'll be back with a live stream on Saturday of this week from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. And I got pre-recorded things coming throughout the week. I got a video coming tomorrow probably about Pinterest. I may do a video about the Pinterest video and one more. I'm not sure what it is yet. But that's all I got. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.